Hey, what's going on? You guys know what day it is. Did you forget? Did you have a long weekend? Did you have a happy New Year's? It's Sunday, and it is our tournament final table here of the $170 buy-in, 7K guarantee, MegaStack Freezeout. And we're bringing you here to the final nine. So let's see who we got on the table. I see William the Knit on there, so that's a good way to start 2021. As we'll see who else is vying here for the $2,450 first place prizes. All right, Big Daddy Albert, mainstay, the people's champion, back to defend his title. We've got Niels. Thought he said Heels, but we got Mike. Yeah, great first name, so we'll see if he'll continue that momentum. Okay, we got a Meat Folding Pocket Fours and Cole. Gonna give it up, Frank the Tank here with Ace 5 suited, and Lucky Leo gonna bow out here with the 9 deuce. Well, I guess I can't call him Frank the Tank. I think that's reserved for dealer / staff Frank here at TCH. I haven't seen him for a while, but he's the original Frank the Tank. Part deuce? I don't know. All right, Queen Jack 6, 2 clubs. Neil's here with pocket sevens. Just gonna go ahead and c-bet and take it down. So, all right. Yeah, I was hustling right here through the door. Just kind of turn the mic on and said, "Let's go. Come on. Hey, what's going on?" Anyway, what's going on, chat pros? You guys have a good Sunday. We're watching NFL football. It's the deciding week here for a lot of teams trying to get in or get on out. As we open up the chat, people just piling on in as we continue here our TCH live stream as we do each and every Sunday. I thought Aaron here in the rooms, maybe he'll come pay us a visit, even if it's for like a couple of words. Spilly, back here in the mix also. Cool opening with jacks here in the hijack. Juggalos, J's on my feet. Some Jay-Z's. And Albert here with the offsuited dude talking, the 10-8. As we go, heads up here, 30K. So, king high board here for Cole as Albert's going to be first act. And it's pretty standard, I think, in this spot that against the blind defend that is almost always going to have to see bet, of course, and figuring right there that more times than not, he's just going to get his opponent to fold out a lot of weaker hands. So, I know a lot of you folks looking for some tournaments to play. Maybe you made a resolution that you're going to go crush the tournament scene. You come out here on Saturdays and Sundays. Sundays, we have this tournament, the $170 buy-in that starts at 2 p.m. And then on Saturday, the precursor to this, $100 either single reentry or single add-on tournament that we do each and every Saturday. And again, if you're up in the Dallas area, it looks like tournaments every day. I got to subscribe to the text. I wake up every day. There's a tournament to play up there. So check that out on our website in the tournament schedule, texascardhouse.com. As your boy Spilly raising up here with Ace King. A mainstay here at these final tables. Frank going to flop the overpair here to the 5 high board. Spilly here with the wheel draw to a deuce. The overcards here to the board. But out of position is going to elect to just say, no, I'm done with this. I'm done with it. So, no, happy 2021. I hope you guys at least found some way to celebrate it in your own way, not surrounded by 1,000 strangers. I don't know. We can enliven a pretty good debate on that, but nonetheless, pretty subdued New Year's for me. Just kind of hung out with a neighbor, hung out with my dog for New Year's Eve, and then New Year's Day, just watching some football all across the day. Sometimes friends outside, freezing our asses off. It was actually like a nice halfway decent day here in Austin again. by our standards, we're so weak here. It's just like it gets 40. It's just like everybody, like, I get crankier, I get angrier for no real reason. I'm just cold, all right? Does a meet here with blinds 2K, 4K. Limping here with pocket fours. Mike going to size up here out of the big blind with king, queen. Does me just going to lay it down. Kneels with the feels and going to go ahead and defend the small blind. Going to leave himself about 78K as 46K right there in the middle. And flops golden as flop top pair. Mike pretty much drawing dead to run a runner, but still going to come out and C-bet to represent any potential ace-X that he could be holding. But as we see here, he's going to have to put Niels to the test for all of his chips here at this point. He now does turn a higher diamond draw with a straight draw that he's going to get the check back on. And I probably expect it's going to go check here unless Mike's a psych. Nope, he's a reasonably sane human being. He's not going to bet the spot. Kind of curious, though, had he put Niels all in, would he have called off all of his chips? I totally understand Mike taking that spot there. That's just, I think maybe you can target some weak ace-X's, but I think you're just going to get kind of bluff caught a lot of the time. So either way, I'm going to go ahead and just stand down here on the end. So let me pile back on in here to the chat. Chatterooskies is, wow, you guys are still just piling in. Moose Duty here in the chat. Paul Harris 40. That is still shorts weather for us in Canada. You got that right there, bud. Go get out the umbrellas and get yourself a drink with a pineapple in it, yo. Yeah, there, bud. Okay, I'm sorry. I just love Letterkenny. So, all right, Lazy Leo jams for ace-jack. He's got about 50K left, just above a 10 big blind shove. Cole had opened here under the gun, just like a 2.5x raise to 10K. And with 40K more to call, even with 318, I'm kind of surprised I didn't try to look that up, but it does turn out to be the correct fold, even with the opportunity to potentially knock out an opponent. But, the blinds are still short enough there that 40K does actually represent a decent amount to just, you don't necessarily want to punt off and double up another opponent on. And just going to say, hey, you win, man. You win. Leo's been getting here to the final table, it seems like every week now. I don't think this guy's that lazy. Lazy guy would have punted off his stack right from the beginning. Still keeps getting here. So we had about 38 players total for this tournament. As Billy getting tricky. And that is the international sign. I'll put it all in as Lazy Leo wakes up with ace-king himself. Albert, yeah, he's going to get that one up as boom, fold. And Spilly for sure, I would think, yeah, I'm going to call this spot. It's kind of worked out perfectly that going to realize, though, that they do have the same hand, so we're rooting for red cards or black cards. See if we get a suit that maybe gives us a little drama here. Otherwise, we're going to chop it up. Oh, hearts are live. And that's it. It's going to be a chop. Chop up a little bit what's in there. Super Dealer JD. And divvy these on up. Follow us on our Instagram at tch.atx. Also, tch.dallas, tch.rgv, tch.htx, and our at Texas Card House account on Twitter and Instagram. It's best way to get the updates as far as, hey, when's the show coming on? We got special guests. We got special promos. I saw that we were doing a promo special to open up the year, but I think that was only just for yesterday. But we do Have a promotion that if you play for 5 hours straight, you can save for 20% off on your hourly here this month at the Austin, Texas Card House. Says Alberto here with a 7 of spade. And we've got Killer Mike here with King Jack of Hearts. Also, yeah, and a meat just going to flat here with jacks. I don't love it. It is going to allow him to at least get away from the hand, but he takes a passive approach just for this specific reason, meaning that instead of risking his tournament life, he can kind of take a look at a flop that might be more favorable to him and be first to enter to be able to blast everybody out of the pot. But I think he could have accomplished the same thing just going all in pre, based on what his stack sizes were and the amounts that would have to be called. But I don't, there's not really a perfect way to play jacks at times. It just, I like a shove more than I like a call in that spot, and I'm probably not alone in that, but it's the interesting thing about tournaments is a lot of people can have a lot of different approaches that either helps you stay in there long enough to get into the money, survive and be part of the mix. Is Cole still weighing his option as going to call here for 30K as we go heads up. It is going to be a chop. Albert at least had some backdoor opportunities with the spades. And unless one opponent can get the other out with a strong bet, we will go here to showdown. And, hey, it's almost like we're brothers here. As going to chop it on up. Cole's going to profit a little bit less because he was in the big blind and posting, but there's a fair amount of chips out there. That's not a total loss for anybody. Oh, boy. So your Dallas Cowboys here just, I think I don't know if anybody was really surprised about that. Just absolutely melting here today. They had a chance to possibly get in the playoffs. Well, that is no more. And, maybe people might be mad at the officials, but it's like you have time the entire season to maybe separate yourself from the field, and it just wasn't meant to be. Maybe 2021 will be your year, Dallas, but it is not going to be here this year. Tampa getting out of the playoffs, blowing the hell out of the Falcons. Browns getting into the playoffs for the first time since 2002. And still a whole lot of drama to behold as I'm just trying to get caught up on all the scenarios as to who knocks who out and all that good stuff. As back here on the felt, Frank limping under the gun with ace-king offsuit. Neil's limping behind with eights. Killer Mike here, the raise up to 17K. Figuring with some limpers up, usually those are hands you can kind of try to attack, but this is a very trappy table, man. Seen a lot of limp strength from under the gun. Frank going to come back over the top here with the limp raise, and now Neil's having to decide, is this an overpair or is this exactly what I think it might be? Just, it's generally a fold there for eights, I think, at this stage of the game, though. With top 5 paying here. Yeah, I mean, the best case scenario is he'd be up against the hand that exactly that he has, that the limp raise ace-king, but most likely scenarios, you're looking at aces, kings, queens. Sometimes maybe you can get a limp raise with jacks, but there are some people that do love to live dangerously. So what can I say? As we continue on your favorite poker channel and all the whole wide world. Okay, hey, what's up, SS? Hey, Mike, welcome back. Matt Benjamin, James Kramer. Carolyn also said, hey, Chad, I've got a recruit. Tyler, here helping out in the production booth tonight. Carolyn says, you ask any of your questions here into the chat, and we'll fire away here with answers. This will wait for more people to pile it on in. James Kramer, don't be so salty. Man, I'm usually so sweet, so I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. All right, Albert here with a raise up with ace-jack offsuit to meet here with ace-9 suited, top pair, top kicker. See how flats Albert. Pot of 42.5K. See maybe if he induces the bet, or excuse me, Albert, first act, I'm sorry. And going to lead out in here 25K. Here comes the shove. It's a small enough here, so it's 46,500 to call into a pot of 139K. Like Albert's probably not loving his hand, but the fact that if he has to call 46.5 more into a pot that's, well, he's getting like 3 or 4 to 1 here at this point. So can he count on maybe him having maybe a straight draw with the 10-jack? He's obviously blocking 10-jack or some combos of that. Or a 10-9 kind of hand that maybe he can draw out on and says, you know, even with the small price, I'm not going to purchase this item. So welcome on in, y'all. Starting here at a decent time here tonight on Sunday. Every day kind of felt like Sunday for the past, 2 weeks. Like, it's a very bizarre feeling from after Christmas to New Year's because it is just sort of anarchy. You know, nothing really, most days don't make sense. Sometimes you have responsibilities, sometimes you don't. Thankfully, I had enough to kind of keep me busy, but it's just, it is that wonderful time of year as we try to get back into the swing of things, start 2021 as fantastically as we can. Make sure to smash that like button if you have not done so yet. And if you've done so, do it again. Just keep on hitting it. It's what I've heard from scientists is a way to really, truly activate the algorithms if you just keep smashing it over and over again. It's like a pro tip there for you. All right, Spilly with a raise up here to 11K. Frank now thinking about putting in a 3-bet out of the small blind. And this is going to be probably like 3x more back to him. Okay, about 48K. And Spilly, the stealer, is going to have to lay it down. Yeah, pretty standard spot there. I think anytime, especially when you can apply pressure, late position, like Spilly can, that it's just like, yeah, Queen 9 suited is a reasonable hand. And I like the fact that small blind decided to come back over the top. He could have basically shoved all in at that point, but I don't necessarily dislike the sizing of the re-raise either. So let's keep it rocking here, boys and girls, here in the free world. It's not producer Tyler gracing us back with his presence yet again. You're going to be the man up there in Dallas. You're going to be our Carolyn. You got a lot to learn there. That's a wealth of knowledge next to it. So now we know who to blame. No, I'm messing with you, brother. I kid, but as we got the straight draw here for Lazy Leo, he's just going to push and pray with 68K left and the 20K in the middle, and just go ahead and take that. So that's mine. Give me it. All right, I'm trying to get my computer plugged in so I can grace the presence here of the chat pros and legends. Yeah, again, it's an Ask Me Anything here in the chat. I mean, within reason. Super producer Carolyn here at the controls to answer any of your questions. Maybe you got like curiosity as to who the wildest commentator was that's ever been in here. Brooklahoma, I think. I'm trying to think back. Most of them are pretty tame. Everybody's pretty cool once we get in here. Nobody's bouncing off the walls except if I, have like a third C4 energy drink, and then things might get a little explosive. William here with a raise up here to 12K. The People's Champion Albert here with a call as Niels also here in the mix with a 6 offshoot. Bing, bang, boom. Let's go to a flop. It is all aces all the time, but Albert has flopped a set, so could spell a potential disaster here for Niels. Unless he gets backdoor straight opportunities. William trying to seize the moment, figuring this board may not have connected with some of the defending ranges of the blinds. Fortunately, he has picked pretty bad timing, but we'll most likely shut it down here. I don't know if Albert's going to slow down on this. It is a 4. It's kind of difficult to piece together any hand ranges that have a deuce in it, that he should be truly worried about this. So, I mean, William the Neck could have deuce 7. I mean, we do have to keep that possibility out there, but maybe deuce 9. That's well within his range. I'm kidding, of course, but Albert correctly going for the value bet, and Niels feeling the heat. And I think that's a reasonable value bet there. Albert correctly betting a set, but just not getting any love. Now, let's go ahead and take it down. So 2,000, 4,000. Big, hey, you've got producer Asa here in the chat. Says Big L, final tables again. Shocker. Lottie is here in the mix. Matt Benjamin, who is your pick for the national championship game, Alabama or Ohio State? I've been saying all year, and I got the receipts, I thought Ohio State was the best team in the country, or at least capable of being in that. So I got to keep riding that, man. I would take them +7, but every time I know that we talk about point spreads and stuff, you should do the opposite of what I say. And I'm an Iowa guy, and I have no reason to root for Ohio State, but I just thought, there's just something there going on that you just feel like they're taking another jump up this year. So, all right, 4-4 deuce. Our 4-4 king turns deuce. Cole's still the best hand here against Mike as the wheel draw turns. Spades get there, but nobody's really been too frisky to put a chip in the pot at this point. Now it's going to go ahead and take it down. So, Stephen McIntyre with a very important question, a very philosophical one that I think each person should sit down and ask at some point in their lives. So if you're going to eat only one kind of taco the rest of your life, what would it be? Man, I don't even have an immediate answer for it. I'm going to have to think because I'm trying to think of the most delicious tacos I've ever had. And it was like if I had to choose one of those to every day. You truly stumped me, Steven. You've truly stumped me. You've stumped the Schwab. No. Thanks, James. Says, I love these commentators. Bump, bump, bump. Captain Underpairs, for instance, just found out a couple of weeks ago that Aaron has a PhD. That should be in our frequently asked questions section on TCH Live or something. No, I bet a 10K here by Cole. Frank folds. I don't think we're going to get anybody deciding to continue at any point soon. And that is going to be it as we continue here at TCH Live Sunday. As got a bunch of cash games happening here at our TCH in Austin. And I have to keep checking out the Dallas room. We're super busy up there, so I hope you've gotten a chance to check that out. Tournaments happening every day. That's where the action's happening. We got 3-1-2 no limit with bomb pots, and we've got a 2-5 no limit with bomb pots happening here at TCH in Austin. Stay tuned here tomorrow night as we've got 5-10 no limit. Going to have E, everyday E, on every stream E, coming on in here to the commentary booth tomorrow night. And he'll have a little announcement as well. So we look forward to having E here and introduce you here to him, this mysterious character of the Austin poker scene. Here we go. Albert raising here in the hijack with Frank with ace queen. Hits up to the limp call in this spot with about 120,000 tournament chips. And Frank's going to flop pretty nice here. The flop will ace high spades. You understand Albert's line here. He's got a ton of chips, so he can come out and kind of play this aggressively to target a lot of the weak limping hands that, you know, your queen tens, queen jacks, Broadway combos, some suited small pairs. So, you know, like Albert's line is absolutely fantastic, but fortunately he's run into a hand here. Frank going to check raise all in, just the ace of spades. He does technically have the best hand regardless, so he got the most out of this with a limp rate strategy. Hopefully doesn't put Albert on tilt. So I wouldn't want to change Biden. Okay, let's see. Just catching up here with some of our questions. Oh, good. Stephen McIntyre says, I'm not on Mike's porch. I'm in Key West, Florida. And that's really the place to be. My porch has been known to be where all the cool kids hang out. All the beatnik gangs with leather jackets, motorcyclists, the Hells Angels love to occupy my porch. Just told me it was just an awesome spot. All right, Lazy Leo here with an all-in shove to Queen Jack. Cole's going to fold the 5K big blind and ante, so pretty standard tournament poker play there. Small stack jams, picks it on up. Main Hars Brempt. Enough said, man. I couldn't agree more. Captain Under Pairs. Mike, what other sports do you commentate? How long have you been doing this? Doing a great job. I started as a sports play-by-play guy when I was 17 in my little hometown in Iowa. I was just a community radio station. I started doing baseball, started doing football. I branched into basketball, then eventually got into volleyball, softball. I've wanted to maybe do lacrosse. I don't know much about it, but it's maybe one of those things that on a whim would kind of be fun to do. But a majority of the stuff I do is football, volleyball, basketball, baseball, softball. So going to be doing a ton of basketball this year, about 2 to 3 games a week. So it's going to be a ton to cover here in the Texas area. All right, Amit going to raise up to 15K. Cole the aggressor is 3-bet to 42K. Spilly's going to fold out his ace-queen because he has no fold equity to go over the top as Amit shows his ace. Stephen McIntyre. Okay, well, the taco question tripped you. What if you can only be allowed to drink one beer, what it would be? I think it's got to be Stash IPA. It has elevated itself to the top of the depth chart. It's just kind of my beer of choice. I don't drink a ton of it anymore, but It is the one in my body I said, I like this. Mostly high school. Mikey Luke, Mike, my kid is starting a doctorate program at Iowa. That's right, the best education you can get right there. Ba-da-bum-bum-ba-da-bum. All right, the People's Champ. The Big A. Albie. The raise up here to 15K with pocket sixes. Mike not living dangerously here with 3 deuce suited. And Frank now here with the decision to maybe defend in the small blind with a queen 10 offsuit. As we keep it rocking. Heads up as 5-5-4 as the overpair here for Albert. There are a few times it gets to actually have an overpair in the spot, so I expect this is just going to go C-bet fold. And no drama llamas, but yeah, that's exactly what Frank's going to do. Not a whole lot of drama here early on. I don't think we've had a bust out yet. We've had kind of people circling the water. I feel like this is a little bit of an earlier start compared to normal. We've seen start times ranging between 6 to 7 to 7:30, depending on the fields and all that good stuff. So Eli Abdul Karim says, I'm sorry, buddy. Happy New Year watch from Ohio. Hell yeah. Thanks for joining. Gary C., I'm starting career at McDonald's. Well, hey, that's a great way to get started. You know, it's an honest day's work, and I think it's well within your skill set. All right, Cole here with a raise up here to 12K. In the cutoff as Neil's here in the mix here with his queen jack limp call. Cole puts enough of a size raise that he can represent a ton of hands. I'm almost certain he's going to bet. No, okay, he's going to take a free card trying to find a 7 or pair up. Niels turns a jack. Hello, Cat P. How you doing? Glad to have you back here in the TCH live streets. And now King Ball here on the end as Niels went for the check call in the spot. Now Cole going for it here to, and Niels going to beat him right in the pot and see he's got the goods. And that is that. All right. Let's see. As we continue on here on TCH Live. Let's see. Hey, Nick from Yuma. Dude, talking. The Wizards-Nets game is a good one right now. Yeah, Wizards gotten off to this weird start that they started off like 0-5, and it's like there's something there. I expected they were going to be the 8th seed in the playoffs this year. It has not gotten off to a juicy start yet, but they got enough roster talent there that I think it's just going to be a team that's high variance, if you want to say that in regards to hoops, I think, at this point. But they got enough there to figure it out. And I think the Nets are due some wild. Okay, so the Wizards won a game. Never mind, they're 1-5 coming into tonight. All right. All right. SJ, does it bother anyone when a friend complains that they're about to be evicted but refuse to work fast food retail as a stopgap? Um, to a degree, maybe. It's always contextual. Like if you're a lab scientist and you've lost your job in the lab and you've been spending your entire life working chemistry, like I'm not going to be pissed if that guy decides, you know what, I don't necessarily want to work at Whataburger at 10 in the morning. Like that's not my jam. So, um, I think it's all just sort of like where you're coming from. That if it's like if you've not been doing anything your whole life and this is the case, I don't know. I try not to judge, even though I kind of tend up doing. But it's an interesting question. Aim for forgiveness if you can. Fuck them if not. So, all right. Wow, that got out of hand quickly. All right, top pair here for Frank. The straight draw for Cole. Neil's here with middle pair. 6 does not change anything for anybody. Albert does have the same gut shot to a king as Cole does, but Cole with a little more life as Jordan Jansen, Beatty getting another ring. Okay, all right. Cat says she hopes to make it in sometime soon, one weekend to play some cards. Well, if you come on in here Friday, Cat, we got Ladies' Night here. It's 50% off your hourly rate here at TCH on Friday night. Everybody calls here, so 5 of spades on the end. Frank feints a fair amount and to hold up here with the best hand in the spot does. Delmont saying he turned down a really lucrative opportunity at a distinguished venue for Mexican food. Is Frank going to scoop it all? You never know what our chat is going to say. That is. So this is episode 128. Shout out to Ace and Steam Dola. Hosted on the holiday, so I could just kind of, hey, sit at home and recharge for a bit. Watch some of that, but it's kind of taking in some of the football games, the festivities, at least close to me. Steven, I'm just here so I don't get fined. That's good motivation. But nonetheless, do want to say this is at the 1 year anniversary of the start of our channel. We started this very show last year on January 3rd, 2020 with Chris Moneymaker and a cash game here on TCH Live. We've been rolling ever since. I'll come back to that here in a moment as William with a shove with ace-10 offsuit under the gun. Frank with a weaker ace. Get some folds. Leo's going to fold. Albert's going to fold. And it's now up to the blinds. If we get an all-in heads up. It'd be Killer Mike's half his stack. And says, no way. William going to steal the blinds. And ante. Okay. Yeah, so this was... and I can't tell you, this was somewhat of a long shot, that there was not really a lot of streams happening. Like, the Austin Poker Palace was doing one kind of, around the same time that we were in the works and developing for the past, 6 months to a year. I'd heard, through the grapevine, they're they're thinking about doing a live stream. I think when it was maybe about a year prior to this, and then... as the wheels got turning in, I think September or so, we had to start game planning as to, okay, how are we going to do this? And, Brian put it up to really get the, get the infrastructure in place, get the cameras, equipment, all that good stuff, and figure out just how in the world we were going to do this. And I came into the mix as a sportscaster, just been working here for 2 years, just getting kind of the sense and the feel of, what is everybody like? Are they what makes each player and each situation unique? So just to have put this together, have it roaring from the start. We go into a pandemic and we shut down for 2 months, and then we come back from it and have kind of been a reasonable voice of sanity in a very insane world where a lot of folks are still waiting to get back into their poker room or be able to get together for a game. Some very tricky things about this year that, to have the success we have because of awesome fans like you, our staff, our chat pros and legends. It's been quite a journey here for 1 year, and let's keep it rolling here to 2021. Plus, we got TCH Dallas on the way, so producer Tyler here in the house, get himself prepared for that. Albert now with the Jack Knight suited here in the cutoff. What's going on, Carlo? Thank you, Captain Underpairs. William now here in a razor fold spot, I think. It's tough, though, even if you jam 65K, that Albert's kind of priced in the call. And he's going to wait for a better spot to see if he could chip up or get a double up. It is kind of true to form that he gets no cards here at the final table. Hillbilly chimed in with War Eagle early on. How could I have missed that? What's going on, brother, man? Brother, dude, man. Bump, 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 bump. Hook up. Piecing together what in the world is these playoff scenarios. Titans get in. Packers get the #1 seed. And I am trying to figure out the rest of this because it was who is in and who is out. Now we are going in with the top 7. Giants maybe have a chance to get in. So, okay, the Saints got the 2nd seed, Seahawks the 3rd seed, Washington football team potentially the 4th seed, Tampa the 5th, and Rams the 6th, and Bears. Oh, Christ. The Bears are in the playoffs, the 7th seed. All right. Albert here with a race up with pocket 9s. Heels here with a 7 suited. Zamid also in the mix here with 10-5 suited. Tens and kings. Queen ball here on the turn as now gives Niels a straight draw. Still no action with anybody, and now Neil's going to get some showdown value here at the end. I doubt anybody puts a chip in this pot. Unless Albert really tries to decide to go for it. I don't think that is going to be the case, but as here we go. Albert is going to go for the bluff here. Both of his opponents have stronger hands, but a board just so screwy that after a check down through 2 streets, it's just so polarizing that even with an ace, I guess you can account for the scenarios where you expect you might be chopping with another ace that might lead this. And Niels has had some hands he could win at showdown, and he's gone from the short stack to a pretty decent stack here at this point. So, okay, so the Chiefs got the #1 seed, the Bills 2nd, Steelers 3rd, Titans 4th, Ravens 5th, Browns 6th, and the Colts 7th. So the Dolphins, oh man, the Dolphins did not make it. They had a good run at it, so that's unfortunate, but I guess in normal times, the Bears and the Colts would be out of the picture at this point. As we expanded the playoffs one more seat, and I think I'm fine with that. We'll wait and see how it looks in the end, but I'm all for it. Okay, Maritime losses, Moose Duty. Oh, Christ. Okay. Boy, our chat's gotten out of hand here. We got your mom talk going on here. Moose Duty, the Bears. All right, who's your pick to go into the Super Bowl? We got our 7 figured out. Kansas City and who? All right, Mike here with the raise up to 17 with the King Jack suited. Heels with 10-9 suited. And Cole here with the Ace-5 off. What's going on? GTN 1968. Yeah, we have not lost anybody yet. We are still at a full table. Ace of St. Kansas City, Seattle. I like that. I think Seattle is that kind of team, with the way things are this year, is good enough to rise above all the other teams here. It's really weird. Like, you should like the Packers, but there's something that just doesn't smell right about them outside of their offense. It's just defense has let them down time after time after time again in some of these spots. So and maybe they're due. Maybe it's just Green Bay has just been due with as many opportunities, as many bullets as they've gotten into the playoffs so many times that the variance is going to tick up their way, and the Packers will finally get back to the Super Bowl and get blown out by the Chiefs. So that's... I'm a Vikings fan. I don't sound bitter, do I? Not at all? Okay. Mr. 2-Go Viking. Wow, I did not know this was football show. Well, we are a collaboration of a lot of things. We talk about poker here. We break it down when it happens. As King's Deuces full of kings for Mike. We break everything down. Dude talking in the saddle. Let's go 2021, says Ethan. What's going on, man? Jordan voting for the Buccaneers versus Buffalo. So Brady can beat Buffalo and not know. That's not a bad crafted joke there, man. Amit shoving with ace queen. Cole folding 8 high. And Spilly here with 9s, facing a button jam with a player with more chips than him. And he's going to go ahead and call it. So one of our first all-in matchups of the live stream here on Sunday. Here we go. Heads up here as we're standing. They're both standing, so they both can't win this one unless we... who's standing more upright? Huh? That really drives the equity advantages, doesn't it? Spilly here with a slight advantage, 53-47. As we do a good old-fashioned coin flip. Overpair still good, and that is going to lock it right in. Spilly. It's going to cripple Amit, who's going to be down to 14.5K. Still got some shoving chips here. Chipping a chair, man, but it's a big pot here for Spilly as we trade chips around the table. Thank you to JTN, $10 super chat. Dude's Talking's first super chat of 2021. All right. All right. Mr. 2-Go Viking, you missed hand. Well, hey, we've done 127, now 128 episodes. You know, man, I appreciate your feedback. But I've been in here for the long haul, so let's, you know, step aside. Jay Stevens, we could talk Bitcoin. You know, I would love it if this chat talked Bitcoin above a lot of some of the other stuff that comes up here sometimes. Bitcoin booming, Ethereum. I'm hearing all these coins and all that kind of stuff happening. So, speaking of steel raise and a fold from the blinds. Oh boy, hope I didn't miss that. Okay. As we continue here, as blinds 3K, 6K with the old 6K big blind ante. Yeah, I've not been in the coin business and then the crypto or anything like that. It's just been kind of one of these buzzwords. And yeah, I don't know if they're what I'm trying to get to a point where I understand it more. And the more I try to understand, the less I feel like I do. It's just, but yeah, your crypto tips here on TCH Live. Leo going to jam here with ace-2 suited. Frank had limped into the small blind with 3K. And not electing to call the shove, as I think is pretty standard at that point. Carlo, I'm going to stick with my guns, gold, and guns. So far, so good. Spoken like a true Texan there. You're like that guy that goes on Joe Rogan's podcast every year and just starts saying the economy's going to crash, invest in gold. Gold is the gold standard. And he kind of looks like Roger Franco. I'm trying to remember what that guy's name was. It's a really chilling podcast every time, but by the 8th time he said the economy is going to collapse, you start to wonder, maybe this guy's got an ulterior motive. Maybe. I don't know. And then I think he did some rant on Bitcoin, and I think the internet kind of just said this guy sucks. Anyway, we've got Mike with a raise up with ace-8 suited, lazy Leo. 15K more to call. Well, not out of the small blind as Alberto, Senor Albert, American Badass. That's who Kid Rock wrote that song about. It's not about not about him. He met Albert. So I got you, brother. Okay, all right. 10-5 deuce. Mike flopping ace-high hearts. Carlo Gold is a booming right now. I'm sure. As soon as 21 leads us into a Mad Max like apocalypse, I'm sure gold will be the most valuable thing on this planet. I'm not predicting that. Please don't yell at me. Richard Dexter, do you know how many entries? It appears in this situation that it was 38 entries total in here for 7K guaranteed prize pool. As we've seen some of our payouts here. And we're still with all 9 to meet the really super short stack. But he's got a hand he can shove with. We'll get his last 14K into the mix. Usual suspects, greetings and salutations. Cole now going to isolate. So the blind's 3K, 6K, a 14K shove represents very little. Like it's just above a min raise. So he's going to fold out. All the hands behind him. As well. There you go. We got a classic under pair versus 2 overcards. Bring it up here front and center. Let's take a good old look at these. Boom. Queens and fives. Amit is going to double up. Still alive, my friends. Cole had a chance to maybe apply our first knockout here, but that is not going to be this week. So, or at least this hand is. What's going on, Eric? Eric here in the chat. Still nobody busted yet. How long? We've been like an hour into this. This has got to be a record. Carolyn, we've had tables that have been like this that has been like, I think there's one I can remember where it felt like it took 2 hours. You can blame me. I don't know if it was this long. This might be the longest. That might be. They stick out like a sore thumb when they do, but it's not that it's a bad thing. It's just a more of a reflection of when the final table starts with the 2K, 4K big lines. There's just not quite a sense of urgency yet, and the stack depths are so deep enough that nobody really has any reason to just, Leroy Jenkins their chips off. It's just not a thing. So typically around this spot, we're just kind of waiting for hands to cooler each other, or we get the coin flips, and all that great stuff. So, hey, have you done your patriotic duty to smash that like button? Yeah, what are you waiting for? Go on, smash it, destroy it, headbutt it, run full circle into it. Do what you can. Do what you can here as we ROCK in the USA. With Meat jamming here with Queen Jack. Got some folds. We got some folds. We have got Niels. Might not know it's his turn to act, but he's looking over there and like, maybe it's small enough I could just try to knock this guy out. Come on, Nick. Nope, Williams got 6 high. He can't do anything about this. But yeah, tomorrow is going to be 5:10. We're going to have E joining for commentary. He's been on with Aaron before. And this got a special announcement tomorrow night. So he'll be joining us in the commentary. Looking forward to it. I feel like we still have a couple of different personalities to bring into the room to just kind of shoot the breeze with. And I think it gives you a way to get to know people a little bit. Sure, Aaron will be back here on the Thursday Hustle here this week as we load up the cards. Leo here is actually going to full pocket fours. He has pretty much opted, I'm not going to play flops. I'm not going to, play small ball. It's like, I'm just going to jam this bad boy in, or I'm not going to play. Unless he's off in the blinds, where I think he still gets the option to. Meat's got 46K. He's got half his chips. Or excuse me, he's got 12K in chips already committed to the big blind of the ante. Just says, all right. He says I'm going to outflop Spilly. It is second pair here on an ace-high board, so it's going to be tough for him to gauge whether or not he really truly does have the best hand when it's such a board that Spilly in position could rep. And even with a down bet like that, just goes ahead and breeze on it to take it down. All right, so again, 5:10 tomorrow night. We will see how this works out.
Jeremy, I'm going to need you to be on the ball with announcing action because we're training Tyler back here, so just make sure you're...
I'm getting caught up on the news and the headlines here from today. Again, I know everybody's not a sports person, so I don't try to dwell upon it 100% of the time, but it's Sunday. I know a lot of you, maybe either gambling on it, watching it, taking it on in. Interesting times here as we continue. 2021, January 3rd, our 1-year anniversary of Texas Card House Live. And hopefully soon TCH Live Dallas, so be on the lookout for that. Captain Underpairs, that's white bios would be great. I mean, there's... I'll approach that later as Cole here with a 9-3 suited. Seeking to be the first player on our stream to seemingly win with that hand. Everyone tries. No one has been able to do it yet, it seems. Bet at 21K here, though, by Mike as... Yeah, I think he's going to get the entire table to fold this out unless Niels does have backdoor spades with a queen of spades with a straight draw. Not technically at this point the best hand. Turn is going to come at Jack. Now there is the 10 that just smashes Neil here, which is a spade, so he's just going to elect to slow down. Maybe Mike decides I see bet and then check. Like, I can rep a lot of spade draws here at this point. He's obviously not going to go for it. His instincts are correct. Slow down and not get caught speeding. And that's going to do it. Yeah, bio. I mean, I think there's a way you could potentially do that through the website, I guess, that if you wanted to expand, you know, pictures and all that kind of stuff, and maybe help you learn more about people, I suppose. Yeah, it would take some different execution, but it is, I will say, not impossible. Not What's going on, Derek and Sierra Whitener? Again, with the Roman numerals. A badge of honor here in these streets. I've been hearing through the grapevine about 420 Roman numeral mass that could be in circulation. There is a suggestion out there. I'm all for it. I think it would be hilarious. All right, 4 players here on a limp pot. Queen 5, 9, 7, Jack 9, and that is all clubs for Cole. Clubby, clubby, clubby. Mike's going to take a chance here that maybe his open-ender is live. Thankfully for him, his hand does not approve here on the turn as Cole led at this, and now he's going to lead yet again, and he's probably thinking more that he's up against a king of clubs or ace of clubs, and so I'm just not going to allow my opponent to draw to a free card, and that will be the end of that hand. Exciting stuff, huh? So again, here throughout the month of January, Michael Jan Vincent. Any of you guys ever see that Rick and Morty episodes? Calling all Jan Michael Vincents. Calling all Jan Michael Vincents this January. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just I'm just rambling yet again. So, all right, looks like we have also another promo happening that we're going to have through January. And I'll get back to that here in a moment. All right, 3 ways here to a flop. Straight draw for Frank with the 3 high. Nobody has paired on this. Neil's technically the best hand with ace high. 9 ball on the turn is Makes Billy his best hand. Neil seeing this check through twice. Got to bet this in position. And Spilly will call, so Niels will have to hit an ace only, or be able to bluff the river. Now Neil's going to elect to fire yet again. So here's compelling. Yeah, this is putting a lot of pressure on Spilly. 40K, it's about half his stack. 2 overcards above his pair. After betting the turn and betting the river. Yeah, I'm going to have to think about this one, because that is... I think it's reasonable here to assume maybe Neil... I don't know. Would he check a queen in position? I mean, there's... I mean, 8-7, he would be double gutted and would get there that he could rep, I guess. He could think he could be taking a blind stab with a hand like ace-10 to a degree. All right. Yeah. All right, 4K. No, 8K. 4K, 8K. Alberto, the big A. American Badass. And a shove here by a meet with 9s. I get a feeling Albert will take a chance on this call, assuming that he's up against 2 bigger cards, but he's going to have to get lucky. And we've seen Albert do it. He can find a 4 in there. Also, meet is going to double up here to 140K. The guy that was down to 14.5K has a chance. Now double up and a little bit more to 160K if he can fade it all. Here we go. Get a run out here. 9 still looking good. 9 still looking good. 1 out here for Albert, and he is not going to draw the lucky 4. And how about a meet? Went from the low stack. Now right here in middle position here amongst all these players. And we are still hanging on to the final 9, 67 minutes here into the live stream. What a life, huh? Let's see. Talking about Blackhawk. No, it's not Blackhawk down. Matthew Schultz, it's just Jan Michael, my Vincent. My man. That's what I'm talking about. What's going on, ATX Poker? Happy stream anniversary. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Nick from you and my steak of choice is great. Amit. Very well done. You're the man. Okay. And here we go. I've got an ace high board. Leo just going to lead that up with 8 high. Albert with no reason to defend. Pez, I just said more fish. Don't disagree on the stout. Okay, I see what you mean. Ethan, this guy always eats his run deep cereal. That is. Is there any poker related cereal? There's got to be some kind of like. There's marketing opportunity here. If there was a cereal out there, who would be on the box? Moneymaker Wheats or something. Leo here with a jam here, ace-9 offsuit on the button with a jam to 83K. And, yep, that is nobody to tango with. Lucky Charms? Yeah, wow, I didn't even think of that. Lucky Charms is probably it. Of course, it's got Spraggy on the cover, or who's the... Or maybe that Irish kid that always played here. We've had people travel from all across the world. We had these Irish kids come in for a while. I never got the kid's name right. Of course, our good friend Victor across in the Netherlands. You had so many people just come and go along the way, and still people coming in from across the country over the holiday season, just like, hey, let's take in the room, man. Captain Under Paris, I live in Dallas, have played in Vegas, Cali, Arizona, New Mexico, Oklahoma, and I'm going to assume that's Oregon. TCH ranks very high against other places I've played. Damn straight. Thank you. All right, 5-ball here on the turn. Kios, Life Cereal with Mike Madison on the back. Mikey likes it. I could go for a cheap shot here, but... Hey, some powder... No, shit. Rampage Poker is on the box for Fruit Loops. You can find it on the bottom shelf at the market. Wow. Some low-key good shade there, Nick. He actually posted those videos the other day from his TCH experience. Posted first some TCH live, and then on the the day after when he played. And I just love going into that comment section because it's like half the people just being like, "You're a terrible player. Like, why did you do this and that?" And he kind of admitted on his stream, he's like, I'm more of a pro YouTuber and I'm still like learning the game. So, I appreciate a guy who has some humility to realize, like, I know I'm not making 100% correct decisions and still kind of a youngster. That's like, I can't begrudge the guy. And here we go. A meet with a raise up, Frank. Niels, bum. Open ender now for Niels. Frank has got a gutter ball that was 7. A meet here with the overcards. Has gone from the outhouse to the just reasonably priced condo. Not quite at the penthouse yet, but making progress. Neil's here with a bet of 40K. Bet in the open ender. Frank's maybe the only one that may still continue here, but this is going to represent about a fourth of his chip stack. Somewhere, but probably a fifth, technically. So, Anthony Reynolds, Happy New Year's, fellas. Stretch. See you again soon. Love playing out in Austin. Great games and streams. Hey, appreciate you being here, man. It's the bag of cereal. You guys are talking about the bag of cereal, not the box. Comes to Rampage. All right. Jim Land, everyone mad they can't run like Rampage? Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, Super Dealer JD, Floorman JD, the Man JD. Here dealing out 2 cards. All right, well, we got 53 likes, so we can keep it going here. Captain Underpairs. Rampage is learning and transparent. A lot of cred from me. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. If you're transparent, you're honest about kind of where you stand. It's tough to hate a guy for that versus just somebody telling you they're all that and they've got a different way to play and people don't. It's just like, okay, well, I don't know if that really exists. I think there's a lot of different dynamics when it comes to putting out a vlog where you're trying to be engaging enough and interesting enough. And, if you're polarizing, sometimes you can't get a lot of reactions from people. So you get clicks, you get blah, 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 blah. But often being reasonable is just kind of like code word for boring. So I get it. I get it, man. Albert here with the raise. Now got King 10 offsuit to 24K. Mike here with pocket nines. Going to, I think this looks like a 3-bet here. 3-bet in position. Me now here with ace jack facing a 3-bet from the button. I don't like calling here. I think maybe there are some worlds where you can jam over the top, but given how like 3-bets in position in the tournament generally don't mean the same thing as you would see in a cash game where you're just liable for anybody to 3-bet any two depending on who's opening. There you go. Hey, what's going on, Andrew Verdeen Poker Vlogs? Next gen are all learning, but at a much faster pace than Rampage. They're still playing somewhat scared money, but truly have yeah, that is the thing. It's tough to. Yeah, that's the missing ingredient of this. You really don't give a shit. Like, if you lose and you've got healthy enough pockets, like, you just feel like you can go and execute a full Rolodex of moves versus just kind of like, oh my gosh, what, this is so much money? So the next gen boys are fun. Like, I will give them that. And a funny Instagram. You're like, all right, I got some hope for the youth of these days. They're not all out there making half our chat mad about stuff. Gutter roll here for Mike, top pair for Neil. Quick bet by Niels, and I think that is going to fold. Well, okay, nope. Mike elected to take a card off here, see if he can draw to something. Unfortunately, it is going to be a heart, but Niels also having the ace of hearts in this hand. That is probably just about it, isn't it? No sane man would continue. All right, stand by here. I'll be back here in just a moment.
I mean, you can't, either you fold or you're, I mean, you're not gonna just call 60K with 60 in the hat and make it. Oh.
All right, we got Albert raising up to 24K here with pocket tens. Amit all in with ace king. William all in here, but has been blinded down here with the ace 3. And he is going to need a wheel. Albert here with a chance to potentially knock out 2 players. So pretty big chip bet back here with Amit jamming. As we readjust to get it all totaled up as Albert. All right, here for the action as we've got a 3-way all in. Tens trying to fade the aces. And we've got the side pot here for a meet besides what's in the middle. And ace. Needs a 3 or okay. Well, I mean, it's going to take ace king, and unfortunately, our friend William, legend William, tried to get it in there with just an ace. Unfortunately, is going to be our first bust out. Albert is going to take a decent hit. Well, not decent for him, though, but it's going to take a chunk out of his chips a bit. And we have our first elimination. It took 79 minutes into the live stream to do it. Unfortunately, William, friend of the show, a casualty here in the spot does. All right, reading Texas Poker chat here. Yeah, I don't pay attention to a ton of the vlogs because I think there's so many, and it's not because I don't like them or I don't think they do a fantastic job, or it's there's not something to contribute. So it's just tough to keep up with everybody and still try to keep some sanity and put stuff on just to kind of make sure to stay up to date on who some of the personalities are. So at least you've got some familiarity with it. Well, that's kind of the cool thing about YouTube, is giving us a space to kind of create content like that that's out there that if it enriches the poker world, I think we should all be for it. And whether you like a guy or not, a lady or a guy, or think this player's an idiot, I think it's all helping us pass the time, is it not? It's not a resounding endorsement for poker vlogs right there. All right, yeah, poker Twitter has been kind of weird as of late. Yeah, no, poker Twitter never fails to deliver. So you can follow us, TCH ATX. Also follow me at Hoops Mike on the gram, on the tweeting machine. It's a whole lot of different ways you can follow along with us here. As here we go. Does SJ, I haven't had to go to a 9-to-5 job in over 12 years. It was tough to run a business on my own for the first 7 years, but now I have a lot more breathing room. Well, I hope this has been tough for small businesses across the country. Different variables for everybody. So I'm glad you're hanging on strong. All right, Niels limps. Mike raises. Spilly shove. Spilly. The raise all in with ace queen. As Iggy, should I sell my wife and buy Bitcoins? Well, you're going to have to turn it to our chat pros here. I am not qualified to know if you should sell a wife or not. I think should be very mad about that. That doesn't seem like a really cool move to do, but come on, it's Bitcoin. No, their show's just about to get canceled. Right, Bob, as soon as COVID is over, most of the streaming and vlogs will drop a ton of viewers. You know what? I'm going to go counter to that. I think we've all been just so warped onto our phones and machines, so I don't think it's going to really make a difference. Like, our viewership for, like, our 5-5 game went down during the pandemic. That I think that if people are in the rooms that they're playing poker, they want to be surrounded by things that help them. So if you're not playing live poker right now, you're probably not paying attention to the live poker scene. Some of you guys are privileged enough to be hanging around here for the reasons that you are. But I'm going to zag on that take because I just think we as people have become so addicted and we have such easy access to all of our technology that I don't buy it because we have so many more avenues to continue getting the word out. Like maybe there'll be some dips, but you know, we've gotten into ratings discussion and viewerships discussion. Like I think it's too simple to only view it as that. So all right, here we go. Albert's still here with the best man, Frank. Here calling with second pair, all spades on the board. This was a limped pot with ace queen. So there you go. Albert gets a little bit of value out of his hand as he tries to reaccumulate some chips that have just kind of whittled down, and he's just not quite been able to really get in the flow of this tournament. I mean, it's unfortunately lost a fair amount of chips to meet a coin flip, but he's not quite really been able to bully the table when he had a bunch of chips, so he's still trying to find his way here, but just like the puppy who lost his way. If I can just make one Billy Madison reference per show, I think I will die a happy man. So
you went to the next hand before all the cards were.
Nick from Yuma, all I wanted for Christmas was a Rampage punt video, and I got two. Hell yes. Sean Watts, what do you think about Landon Tice? He's a great young poker mind and putting in a lot of work. I think he looks like a younger, long-haired doppelganger of myself. It freaks me out when I see him. Giant forehead, big head. No, I kid. But Spiller here with a raise up to 17K. Alberto here with pocket eights. Yeah, it seems like he's got a lot of respect to people who know stuff. So everybody has said that when he was here in town in Austin, I said, no, hey, guy's a good player, kid's a good player. He's going to be one if it continues. Six ball here on the turn. Nobody has paired up the ace-high board. So Albert's still technically the best. And I wonder after the check through, the undercard here was pair. This is a prime betting spot. Mark Wilson, who wants to bet they chop at the final two? No one plays out tournaments anymore? Question mark. Maybe somebody will take you on that bet. I've always wondered if we can do side betting in some app form, but obviously that's not, I think, legal in Texas. But that is going to be the wave of the future. It's like live betting apps through your TV. That's the only thing we have left to accomplish within television is either make the picture wider, bigger, or more interactive. And that's what the people want. It's just something more to gamble on. Hey, what's going on? Hugo Gomez. Hi from Portugal. Hey, Ernesto's in the chat, so you know what that means. Little way. Boy, Alan here in the chat. Sup, TCH Hatters. Says, how about them brownies and Buckeyes? Nightbot, unfortunately, silencing you, Alan. I'm sorry about that. Nightbot must have went to Michigan. That's too bad. Hail to the victor, says Nightbot. As the meat bet says 3s and 7s. Ernesto says TV smells would be the wave of the future. Yeah, that seems like such an advanced technology that I don't know if we're going to be able to accomplish that during our time. You think that's accomplished in alien universes out there? They got a way to communicate to each other and still smell each other? I'm not sure I want that. Get yourself in a nice professional business call and they can kind of smell what's going on. That might be bad news for some people. Mark Wilson, Columbus, Ohio here. Go Bucks. Pez, you're on an idea right there, Chung Blot. Thanks, man. Let's see. Smell-O-Vision sounds like a Simpsons episode, says Jordan Patrick. It certainly does. It's like that episode of South Park when they just realized the Simpsons did it. Like everything they try to do, Simpsons did it. Andrew Vadine asking about, okay, why 2-5 instead of keeping out of the 1-3? It was more of a reflection of just sort of changing the games up here. That, I mean, we could certainly spread a 1-3, but our mainstay is 2-5, and it's allowed, I think, the stack depths to get a little bit bigger. Has allowed the game to play a little bit bigger. That I think you get more of the mid to high stakes crowd more active in it versus 1-3. It can become a very big game, but it's still really a giant ass game for, for one. For Texas, obviously, but it's 2-5. I'd like it as a dealer because I'm not constantly changing out the 5 for a 3 and so on. Like it is just, it's a smoother game, in my opinion. But yeah, still same variety. Yeah, as Carolyn said there in the chat, 2-5 still matches stack. All right, 10-6-3 as Cole here with top pair. Mike, middle pair. Let's see if Mike decides to get sticky. Sticky icky. Quite sicky. Well, that seals it right there for Cole. Hillbilly says, guess Dabo has Ohio State ranked a little higher than 11 this week. Did he really have that in the poll? Because I think that the more skepticism about Ohio State was not that they weren't good or bad. It was more of the fact that they had only played 6 games, whereas a lot of these teams had, done 10 or 11. So there was more of a minefield to walk through. But this is bad news potentially here from Mike, as the third 10 rolls off. It's quad 10s for Cole. He does have a reputation of being a little bit on the wild side, so that Mike does have some showdown value here with the 10s full of 6s that even on this final table he's been caught speeding. So it's a tricky spot for Mike here. He's betted every single street. And we have a decision here on the end, as Mike's going to call, and unfortunately he's going to see Cole had him the entire way. And I think that third 10 helped him get paid off there. I mean, maybe depending on the bet size, if it's still just trip 10s there for Cole, he can find himself a way to get paid off just because Mike can convince him that there's still plenty of hands in his range that he's bluffing with. But it's all right, ACC, it was 0-6 in bowl game, says Alan. Yeah, that's not good. That is not good whatsoever. Let's see. But yeah, go 2-5 daily here every day. Like that's what daily means. But
Where are they getting the money from? Okay. So this is the pain in the ass. Can you just pull up the picture on your phone again?
Alan, yeah, okay, so there's not much of a minefield in the ACC. Well, it is not so much the conference, but just having to go through the randomness of a season. It's just like 1 week you're going to have a week where your star quarterback just has a crap game or defense has missed opportunity. Like it's just for college football, it's just so difficult over a 12 game schedule, 11 game schedule to fade everything. You're just going to have 1 week where you don't show up or you have if a call goes wrong against you. There's so many different things that could go sideways that over a 10 or 11 game stretch for some conferences is much different. So I don't think he's unreasonable, but it is the fact that, you know, that the circumstances of the season were not regular and not normal, so maybe the normal rules don't necessarily apply. So there you go. And we got a meat betting a 7 high board. Alan says you might lose to Notre Dame and still be a 2 seed. Okay. Well, I mean, you have to take into account they don't have their guy who's the best quarterback. And I think any reasonable person could sit there and say, you don't have your best player, you did not win that game, and it was still close. So I think they got it right. Maybe you could have put A&M in there. I wouldn't have been terribly disappointed. I probably would have rather preferred A&M over Notre Dame, but that is the system in a nutshell. Blah, 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 blah. Here is. The Jets have fired Adam Gase, so good news for you New Yorkers. That just dropping here on Twitter by Ian Rappaport. There is a God after all, as perhaps worst coach I have ever seen in regards to just, I don't know. I'm sure he's a brilliant football mind. But I think for a lot of Jets fans, it was a bad cultural fit and just over skis. And it's tough to win there. But Mike's going to be feeling happy here. He's got a hand that's tough to beat here with pocket aces. Frank here with king 3 offsuit. Seven, six, jack. And there you go. Mike's ace is going to hold up. Alan, can't use minefield argument when you get hit by minefield and still get penalized. I'm not sure what you mean. Again, like, trying to prevent COVID outbreaks here, some of it is just sort of like, are you going to be responsible enough to be able to get through it without any infections? And nobody's out here to police everything, but it's just sort of like, hey, this is somewhat of a personal responsibility of all these programs is to be able to contain this. And I'm not here to, I don't know if I can point fingers on it, but it's also like, blame this on the Big Ten for being put into this situation to begin with. That if we have a late start, you just destroyed the flexibility to be able to get all the games in that you wanted to begin with. So. Then, all right, 10-4 ace. Straight draw here for Albert. Lazy Leo with second pair. Everybody give me a Red Bull, sugar or non-sugar, I don't really care. All right, Lazy Leo going to jam his 59K as much the shorts. See, Ethan, Chip Kelly is a great NFL mind. There are There are a lot of people that I think of when if you try to discuss X's and O's, they're going to know things that will blow your mind. But, head coaches either in the college or the NFL level, or it's more of a CEO position. Like you are setting up your leadership at all your skill position coaches, and if you're in college, you're basically the head recruiter in the face of it. But it is not always about who's the most brilliant X's and O's guys all of the time. It is just as much about how you build a culture that's sustainable. Do you have the right quarterback that works with you? Do you have the right GM that can put all the pieces into place? There's a lot of things that have to go in there. And if one of those things is off, all the other things can totally go with it. So Mike in a jam here with ace four suited. All in here for 67K. Leo going to fold out. Alberto going to fold. As no, did Chip Kelly get fired? No. I think Ethan started talking about Chip Kelly's run in the NFL, and I don't think, I don't think he got booted from UCLA. So that's you ain't got to worry about that, my friend. Gary C. Minnesota lawmakers are auditing death certificates related to COVID. They believe about 40% are mislabeled. Yeah, I listened to a podcast Rogan did with this guy, Alex Berenson. It was kind of unique, but it's just sort of like, we know stuff's going on. There's a lot of comorbidities and things of long-term side effects that are still making people appear with caution. So I'm not going to shit on anybody for that. So we could break down the semantics of all you want. This percentage is not percentage. The problem is people are still suffering. So until then, shut the hell up. Okay? All right, so we have got Cole raising under the gun and going to go ahead and take it down. So just one elimination thus far as we get into our top five. Let's see. Carlos and his Panthers have a top 10 draft pick. Now they need some help, man, to get McCaffrey back next year. Second year, Teddy Two Gloves. Maybe there's a chance for a rebound there. All right, ace four. Is Mike going to get a walk out of this? Decent going here thus far. Do we? Okay, but I thought there was going to be a straddle put out there. That's just the big blind and the ante. Cole now here with ace queen. He's been pretty holding steady with the big stack for the majority of this. Lazy Leo going to rip it all in here for 89K with a weaker ace, unfortunately. I almost assured probably Cole is going to look him up here. It is about 67K more to call. Come on, let's get it in. Now we got Washington playing the Eagles right now. The Washington football team leading 10-7. I'll put that back on.
Oh, it doesn't matter. No. Okay, just hit okay. That's fine.
And all right, Lazy Leo again. All in with ace 10 as far as what we know.
Don't do anything. Don't do anything. We're gonna have a problem here, but just I need you to not do anything for a second, Jeremy. Thank you. I need you to hit all in. All in. We're gonna run this back, but the board's been pulled, so it's gonna fuck everything up. So all in.
So we've got still the decision back here to Cole to call 64K more after he learns the total here.
Queen, any queen, I don't care. Okay. Next hand. And then we're gonna have
Eugene Green. So if people are suffering, counter arguments are moot because people are suffering. Well, that's a really dumb way to look at what I said. And I got a call, so Cole decides to look him up here as we go, what's up? Lazy Leo has got 3 outs. Queen here on the turn pretty much seals it shut, so that is going to be our second elimination here of the tournament final table. I mean, the reason why, there might have been a holdup on the table as far as, hey, making sure we get the card scanned correctly, blah, blah, blah. And, I don't think he was necessarily tanking for, I don't know what to do here, though I think since Lazy Leo does put up a lot of these spots where it's all in or fold, it can get a little tricky as you try to piece it together. I think it was more of just giving us a moment here in the production booth to get everything caught up. So don't worry your pretty little head about it. As we continue here on TCH Live, the show about poker that draws chat about everything but. Folds, folds, folds. Here to Amit as, again, was a short stack, whittled down all the way down to 14K, shot himself right back up north of 160K. Again, I don't think it was a nit rule. I don't interpret Cole to be the kind of guy that's going to be a question. I think it was just something more of having to wait on one other side of things. All right, we've got Frank jamming here for his last 80K. Here with King Queen offsuit. Spilly here will lay down the ace-4 off, so he's got less chips, but no. I just had to go get a Red Bull. Dude, I did not get time to get my usual, either C4 or whatever the hell it was. Rain? Yeah, Rain. You get them at HEB here for less than $1.50 a can. So they're a great value for the output. It just turns you into a caffeine raging person. That's always good, right? Yeah, okay. Well, we had, let's see here. Ethan, that video of the poker dealer tossing some guy a beating, dealers' lives matter. Yeah, like I said, if somebody drops, if you're African American person, somebody drops the N word, like I think you just get a free pass to punch that person without repercussions. Like you don't get to go any further than that. You just give them a good old whack, and depending on the severity of it, depending on the mood, maybe somebody dropped it and they, was was not meaning intent, or maybe there's somebody being really rude. And then we as the public can kind of sit there and say, you know what, hit that person for being such a jerk. I would never do that. There have been times I've contemplated it and finally, just kind of realized, go, no, you're an idiot. Calm down. I love everyone here at TCH, but Alex really said in chips, but that's why we loved it. If we just talked about poker the whole time, it would be like every other show and boring. All right, we got aces. We got aces. And low in here on the board is Frank got it in here with aces. What the hell? Okay, that's my fault. I got off track here trying to get into my Red Bull as Niels decided to take a risk here, and he was up against aces, and now Frank with a spank and a double up here up to 210K. Okay, I'm going to have to rewind this. What in the world happened on this hand? Because usually I'm good enough at paying attention to everything that... Okay, rewind. Eugene Green, a philosophical question. So if it's in one group's best interest to do one thing and another group's best interest to do the opposite, whose best interest is more important? The answer is the one with the most money. Yeah, that's probably about right. So Frank Jams and Niels, I think, had just called the 85K more. Okay, he just maybe had hoped he was flipping and turned out to be not the best solution. Okay, I gotcha. That makes a lot more sense now. So ice is full, Mike, says Carlos. Yeah, and my point being is that for the last 6 months, this is what every day and every show has been. That it's a bit like Groundhog Day, so that if you hear me kind of go nuts, it is like that Bill Murray is at the end of the day realizing that every day is going to be the same, and it doesn't matter. That, that's... That is kind of the repetitiveness that sort of just like, my God, I would love to hear Bitcoin talk over some shit. All right, back here to the tournament final table where we've been slowly progressing. Leo has bowed out. William the Nit, legend William the Nit, has bowed out. But he starts the year with a final table, so maybe that's a good sign here for William, huh? It's going to be Willie's year. All right, got to play it all in. Spilly here, ace, queen. Oh, Cole has got aces, though. So, Spilly jamming for his last 42K. You can't blame him. None of Cole's going to have rockets here in that spot. King 10-4. 9 ball, still giving a little bit of life, but... Oh my God, Spilly gets there. Runner, so much funner. He has cracked aces. All in pre-flop. His short stack. Wakes up and see he's up against the aces. Goes runner, runner, club. Somebody up there in the sky loves Spilly. Legend. This guy, I feel like, has been on more final tables here. I know he was on the tournament leaderboard. He kind of just keeps getting here, and Spilly here with enough sense to go runner. Jordan, that's just, I still don't think it was a slow roll. Like, I think it was still something from our end that we had to have him pause. So, lay off Cole, man. He's doing his best. That is fact. Legend, Asa. Tournament legend. Capital letters. We're going to have blinds coming up here, though, so maybe that's some progress. Again, sixth, we've agreed to pay out 200, so you see the adjusted payouts there. Clumbed to death. Hell yeah. Jedi Master Ted Sayeth is the 30th word I've added to dictionary this week. There you go. You got a healthy Rolodex of a healthy vocabulary. And I would use a big word here, but I've not had enough wing juice to open up the old words things. Because as our good friend A.A. Rana said, words are hearts. And I rocked my Words Are Hearts t-shirt yesterday. It's a very comfortable shirt. Yep, all right. We got Spilly limping with Ace King. Spilly, what are you doing, man? You got all those chips. Limps behind the under the gun raise. He's like, I know, Albert. All right, so 6K, 12K. We've got limping. Well, maybe the vaccine's up. Maybe we might see some Wes Cutshall. So I don't know if he's... Contrary to what I believed, poker commentators are not getting the vaccine first. I screwed the pooch on that one. I got bad info. Somebody had emailed me and said I was important, and I was like, all right, maybe we're gonna get the vaccine. And they're like, no, we got to give it to people in the government first. And you're like, you know what? I'm pretty sure everybody who denied that mass worked and denied everything, they should definitely get it first. Governor of Iowa proudly getting it after she basically told people that this was all a lie. First to get that medicine, huh? All right, I'm sorry. I've gone off track here. Spilly's going to bet his top pair here in the limp pot. Albert has got a set of fives. Cole has got second pair. And Mike and me have nothing. And all right, so Albert gonna smooth call. And this may be GG here for Spilly. Albert's got just only 7K more in chips. I mean, unless we can get a turn card that keeps Spilly live here. That is not going to be one. So Albert's got a lock on this, and that is probably going to be it for Spilly as Albert calls. And that is unfortunate at the end for Spilly. Fives full of queens. American Badass. The Big A. The People's Champion, Alberto. Now going to be up to 273K. Spilly has been eliminated, so we... Well, nope. We're going to recount the chips. I'm sorry. We had to do a recalculation here of the chips. So actually, Spilly Nation, stand up. Your boy is still alive. Chip in a chair. He's going to be in the big blind after this. And Albert's going to stack a ton of chips to get him kind of back to where he started. So that's encouraging signs. There's got to be a nickname for Spilly's fan club. The Oily Spills. You know, that. I turn it here to the chat. You guys. As we continue here on TCH Live, 5:10 tomorrow night. E. McKenzie going to be joining us here for commentary, and Thursday's 2-5 edition with Ron, Aaron McAvoy, Dr. McAvoy, with just the tip. Over and under People's Champ scores 5 titles this year. Five tournament wins. I don't know. It's 5 well, I guess over the course of a year, now that we're probably not going to be facing a 2-month shutdown anytime soon. All right, Spilly, is under the gun, and a great time to wake up with the Ochos. Just a perfect time. Andrew Verdinas for Albert's been crushing tournaments. He's been crushing it for a lot longer than that, Andrew. 2 months is roughly conservative. Cole's going to look him up, so a chance here for Spilly to triple up here with the blinds and antes out there. Eight still holding, and Spilly's back to 64K. It's never fear. Spill's got it taken care of. So, snowman alert. That is a fact. Reading on into the chat. I'm regretting it, but still reading it. Be sure to smash the like button. Come on, we got like how many more to go to get to 100? Like 30 more. 30 more to get to 100. And you too can sponsor a TCH live stream by smashing the like. You can do it. I got faith. Don't be a bonghole. Hit the like button, man. It's my new creative approach to asking for likes. Just call people bungholes. No, I kid. No, Mike, don't drink the Kool-Aid. Yeah, I'm not. I need to watch the rest of that documentary too, by the way. Of the what's the Heaven's Gate people. I watched the first 2 episodes and it was just kind of too depressing. I was like, oh Christ. All right, Spilly here with a jam with King 10. Okay, no way, we got this. We're getting this rerouted here. Okay, so Spilly deciding to ship it after what looks like a meet had limped the button with Jack 9 suited. Fading. Spilly's fading, and he fades it. Spilly went from 0 back to hero yet again. Bobbing and weaving. And now back to 128. Somehow gotten back to 10 big blinds by just good opportunities being available. So usually anytime I get short stacked there and I got like a less than a big blind, it's Jack 4 offsuit. And I'm like, all right, time to get it in, I guess. Wisco Baron. Happy New Year's, Mike, and the entire TCH crew. Happy New Year to you, friend. Happy New Year to you. Queen Jack suited raise up here by Niels. And both players have Queen Jack here in the spot, so Niels flopping really great here though. Queen Eye Spades. Gets to be able to c-bet from this and Frank. Nick from Yuma. When will at Mike Gambler, when will TCH have a meet up game? Very good. Very good, Nick from Yuma. That's why you're an all-star chatter. That is why you're a chat all-star. And I don't know if we're gonna have our own version of the Dundies, the TCH Liveys, the Liveys, we gotta have like our own award show, make up ridiculous like best costume of the year. Definitely has got to go to Bernard. Bernard wins. I think that one hands down. Is Albert gonna raise? Okay, no, Albert's just gonna get a walk. Dun 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 dun. All right, the flushies. Says Nick from Yuma. And I will only do it if we can live stream from Chili's and give these awards out. Just like in the office. But all right, 91 likes. Come on, we can get 9 more. You can do it. I know you can. I've seen you do it before. Let's see what else? I mean, there's not much going on at poker. I think it's kind of New Year's. Another thing, people came out to Vegas, came out to here, might have had some downtime to vacation while their boss is taking their mistresses out to exotic locations and shit. Like the steamy, says JTN. I don't even know what kind of trophy you would come up with. And all right, we got a straight draw here for Niels and Albert. Different versions of the same one. Pez, live stream from Chewy's. That would be fantastic. Or from Mandola's. Be up there like Billy Crystal every year. Steamed Ola could probably do a really good Billy Crystal impression. I think they talk exactly the same way. Chris Robb, Albert's biggest fanboy award. Yeah, that's... Hey, pal, you got a problem with Albert. You got a problem with everybody because he is the people's champion. He won it in an arm wrestling contest. I can't verify it, but I'm pretty sure he would. All right, Fubar. Played live at MD, live now watching this, hoping to get some run good. Happy New Year, TCH. Oh, hey, good luck to you. Wow, that's a devilish Eric. He's just created a fake Bitcoin wallet and flashed to girls on seeking arrangement and then never pay them. Probably a good way to, I don't know. I would never lie or mislead a lady. Jack 10 suited here for Frank. And we've got Mike checking his option. 4 offsuit. And all right, pairs up the 4 here for Mike. Deuce here on the end, Mike, because Made it to the end with the best hand. 4 is up with the queen. Mutt Frank with no reason to continue. Pez, any word on Dallas TCH Live? Yeah, we're training our producer Tyler here in the house, so we're getting on that early stages of getting off and running. Until then, if you have any questions for super producer Carolyn, you can fire away in the chat. That way you get the real story, behind the story, of the story, for the story. No, I'm making a long way to make a community reference, but mouse quads is a pair of 4s, right? Okay, hey, don't forget about this. We got quad deuces and quad 3s jackpots happening on Mondays and Tuesdays, at least according to our website at texascardhouse.com. Maybe I need to refresh this. Yep. Again, quad deuces paying out 100% on Mondays. Quad 3s paying out 100% on Tuesday. Come on down here to Texas Card House. Tell them Texie Moxie sent you on down here. We walk right up on there in the front door and you say, "Oh, Moxie sent you." Jedi Master Ted, if you're doing the Jerry Lewis. No, it's not. It's Bill Burr doing Jerry Lewis. It's more of Bill Burr's bit than it is. It's really funny. So this is a big hand here for a meat. He's flop top pair. He's got a flush draw here with a 10 of hearts. Albert in the cutoff with a 7 was a pre-flop razor. And he's wondering if he's maybe just fading like the Queen of Hearts with a 10, like a Queen Jack combo, maybe a lower ace. It's a pretty hefty bet to call with this board texture. I mean, there is some possibility that maybe he's got some chop outs depending on where the turn comes to, but we shall see here. Big decision back here for Albert. Albert's going to call, and he's hoping now at least maybe get lucky, maybe get a chop out of this. And the 10 of hearts is going to produce a flush here. And that is going to continue here for a meet that has been just up and down this entire stream. Bob, New York wants to put inmates ahead of the general population. Well, to a degree, the fact that if the inmates are spreading the virus at such a rapid pace, then it creates other problems. So if you get people released back into society, that creates double more problems. Like, I get it that there's not going to be a perfect solution to this, so let's quit pretending that there is one. Like, it is very easy to be armchair president of everything from home. Can we do it another night? Is there anything else? I beg of you. Why is it every time I have to read the chat, I start getting a headache? What are you guys doing here to me, man? All right. Anyway, moving along. We got 6K, 12K with a 12K big blind ante. All right. Well, there's a healthy point of view there. Jesus Christ. We got Frank limping with ace jack. Neil's limping with ace 7. Mike not here with ace 10 on the button. Is not going to jam over the top of everybody. Me going to call 6K, and we are going to have a 5-way pot here, as we are still, how many handed here? We are still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. So the ace 8-3 spells good news here for Frank. Neil's here with a weaker ace. If it gets down here to Mike at the end, this could be bad, because you've got Frank waiting in the wings, backdoor spades as well with his top pair, but Mike's not going to go too over aggressive with it. Deuce rolls off, and now Frank is going to decide to push. So electing to just protect his hand to avoid any checkbacks. And this is actually a pretty difficult decision here for Mike, because this was a limped pot. He could be concerned that he might be up against an ace-8 or an ace-3 or ace-deuce, and correctly lays it down. And that's a big pot here to Frank. Lucas Allman, any plans for TCH? The Mike players up. I know with the Dallas system, Ryan had told me about that. The room and the setup are a little more useful as far as how it can facilitate sound to like the boom mics. We've not been able to really figure out how to do it here on this side, where it does not transmit through the broadcast really well. It kind of just sounds like a kerfuffle of noise. So, yeah, I mean, I get asked it like all the time, so which is always nice. Hey, can you stop talking so I can hear the other people talking? I know people don't generally mean that, but it's also, you're always like, hey, love the show. Hey, by the way, can you shut up? It's not what you're saying directly, but I kid. So we've got, an ace here for both Spilly and Niels. Jack is going to turn here for Frank, because right here on the end. So all hearts as Frank's Jacks get there in the end. After all, as see if he gets any value out of it. I don't think he's going to get paid off by anybody. I would be surprised. Yep, as I'll just scoop it all the way there. So now across the 100 like mark, celebrate USA, USA. I don't know if I could say that loud, but okay, let's ramble on. JTN, let's talk about something important. When the lease is up at Sherwin-Williams, think you could double the TCH Austin room? I don't know if we're going to be at a point where we need to yet. That would certainly be a dream to finally take down the evil empire of the paint store next door. Now, Sherwin-Williams seems like a fine, reputable place for home design and more. Shop at your Sherwin-Williams today. Limp pot here is, there we go. We've got 2 pair. We've got the nut flush draw for Niels. So Billy's going to rip it in here for the 86K. Amit had led for 24. Spilly shoves and Niels. Well, it's not the nut flush draw. Excuse me. I thought it was the ace of hearts and the other 2 suits. So, okay. Now he's looking at a king high flush draw for a price of about an 89K shove where he does not have a chip in the pot. And Neil's going to call, so he's going to gamble here against a 2 pair and maybe backdoor straight draw. 4 ball gives him, I guess, a couple more outs, but that's not going to do it. Spilly. Going to double up. Neil's going to go down to just right about 10 big blinds. As we continue here on TCH Live. Still down here to 6. So now we're going to up it up to 18 and 16 with a 16 big blind ante. So, okay, I've seen the bracket here. So we've got the... This is kind of a weird divisional bracket, but as far as for what it's going to look like, let's take a look. What do they have set up here for the playoffs? Wild Card Weekend is one of my favorite weekends of the entire year. You get 3 games a day. Saturday through Sunday, all big-time playoff games from start to the finish. So it's, you want to come on down to Texas Card House, you can play some tournament poker, play some cash game poker, sweat your bets, take in the action. That's Billy versus Albert. Ace up here on the turn. 7 ball on the end. Spilly still with the best hand. Nick from Yuma, did you see the end of the Titans game? I did not. I was on my way here and had to kind of hop into the show, so didn't. Kind of at the weird time of the games are ending towards today. Ethan watched the Phil Hartman bio today. That guy was amazing. Rest in peace. Funny man. Yeah, native Minnesotan. I believe he was a genius, man. Should still be with us, but fortunate circumstances. Let's see. JTM, what's more insane, dealing to 10 poker players in person or reading the stream live chat? Sometimes stream live chat for sure. No, yeah, being on a table and dealing to 9 players is pretty like normal at this point. You do it for so many number of years. There's nothing like insane about it. The only thing that is insane is the size of our double board bomb pots here at Texas Card House. Let's come on down and play, take part of the action. We got quad deuces and quad threes here on Mondays and Tuesdays. And also if you play for 5 hours straight, that's 20% off your hourly rate here at Texas Card House. 20%. Could you believe the savings here on this? And we've got more. For just $19.95, you can get yourself a Gary C. bobblehead doll. It'll just keep saying the same regurgitated things of mainstream media, mainstream media. You pull a doll on it. Okay, I'm sorry. I was going with it. I just love making fun of people that just say mainstream media every other sentence. Okay, William Lottie, our boy Lottie. That was a torturous hour. Maybe next time. Maybe next time. We're hoping for you. We're rooting for you. You know you're going to get there. Keep pounding the rock, my friend. The usual suspect. One of my resolutions was to be more tolerant of chat buffoonery. It is proving to be difficult. I've not actually come up with a resolution this year. I don't think I've ever really come up with one since I was. Because nobody ever follows those things. If you try to go in shape, you're done by about 2 weeks in, or you get hurt, or you fall in love with a taco stand, and then the rest is history. Nick from Yuma, this fresh, delicious, tasty, meaty turkey-filled cold-cut combo, I'd 3 every day to keep me strong. Because Queen 10 is going to win. Someone invited me to play a tournament here, and I posted that YouTube from Happy Gilmore. All right, I'll see you there. It's like one of my favorite lines in that movie. It's like, all right, yeah, I'll see you guys there. You can always use that usefully. That collection of words didn't make sense either, but I'm raised up by Cole here with pocket niners. Nick from Yuma, this segment sponsored by Words Are Hearts. Our boy Aaron. He was out there playing. I think he's had a little vacation time that he's coming back here on the felt. That's not going to interfere. He's getting back from Colorado. Well, Mike's going to get in here with Ace-Jack, so another classic tournament flip. Ace-Jack versus nines. Here we go. Jack right there in the window. That's bad news for Mike. I'm rooting for him. He's got an open-ended straight draw. Oh, he's not going to get there. Well, the guy who shares my very rare name. Oh, excuse me. Cole's the one with the nine, so I'm an idiot, as you guys already know. Mike's doubled up. Words are hearts, aren't they not? Hillbilly, I don't have to be a chat pro, even a second or third team all in driving for is honorable mention. Yeah, honorable mention chatter. All right, Billy here with a couple of ladies. I think I'm just going to get the Burr soundbite straight into it. Ethan Mackin, St. A&M Orange Bowl champions. And congrats to A&M. They looked really good last night. That was fun to watch. Matt Benjamin, dying is easy. Comedy is hard. Yeah, it is. Dying's a lot easier than comedy is sometimes. That's why your poker commentators really are the first. They're are really the real heroes. So I can remember that guy, the dude from that show, The Boys, and he would just come out and give the same speech. But you guys are the real heroes. And you're just like, God, what a perfect villain! I already want to punch him in the face. All right, we'll continue here. 8K, 16K, 16K, big blind ante. Homelander, that's right. I was like, what is that character's name again? Frank has got ace king. Albert has got the queens. I think his chip amount is wrong, but that's. I think we're probably work in progress. He's going to raise up here to 50K. He's got at least 100K more back behind him. Oh, Albert with the two chicks this time. Two chicks at the same time called Albert, or Nick from Yuma. Another great American classic, Office Space. I used to work not far away from where they did the offices, where they filmed. It's just kind of an eerie spot, I think, in southeast Austin, that all these office spaces still look exactly the same. All right, Albert rips it here for 120K. We really thought we were just going to get this all in pre, but it did not wind up going that way. It did not. Albert going to go ahead and take it down as we continue here, TCH Live, Sunday. Check out our website, texascardhouse.com, for the promotions and tournaments on the schedule. I mean, there's a lot of questions that can be solved just by going through and clicking your Texas Card House location, whether it be here in Austin, in Houston, in Dallas, in Edinburgh, at a Rio Grande Valley location. You got the opportunity to check it out, y'all. Give us a look here at texascardhouse.com. Otherwise, you can follow along on Instagram at tch.etx. You can follow me at hoopsmike. Boom. Right there. Just quality posts and stories of my dog doing random stuff. So that's really about. And it's probably something with my dog. So it's just. There we go. We got a shove here by Killer Mike. And Frank, you're with Ace King. Mike's going to have to get lucky. He needs some spadatos. He needs some spades. And up, all right. We got a straight draw though for Mike. Does not get the backdoor spade to come, and it looks like Ace King is going to hold. So good game there, sir. Mike has been eliminated. And that is going to put us here into the final five. Mike finishes for $200 with the extended payout, sixth. Lava Rider, actually, much more like. Lava Rider. Nobody in history has ever won an argument online. Not worth getting into one here. I mean, you can successfully troll each other into pissing each other off, but it's not like nobody really comes into a good faith argument that. And to be fair, like if you use tactics that prevent people from curiously engaging with your discussion, then that's on you. Like it's not too difficult to understand in this world that if you're an asshole to people and you just troll them, like you leave yourself this veil of disintegrity that exists that you, even if you do want to spell the truth of something, it is a bit like, what was it, the boy who crawled wolf? Like that's the one thing I try to at least be consistent on, is to at least have an open space to listen and to engage and all that kind of stuff, and just sit there and go, okay, yeah, you might be right, and not leave myself room to be sabotaged because I've just, any intentions that I have were just to try to fuck with people or lie to them. I ain't saying my karma is the clearest, but I'm working pretty damn hard at that. And here we go. Ethan, I only speak to people who agree with me 100% of the time. Yeah, that's a good method. Keep you right there in the echo chamber. You just never have to experience any negative emotions. All right. So we've got Albert limping into the small blind. Asa saying he wants to get here in the booth in round two. You can take over right now, man. If you want to sub on in and come out and here be the closer, by all means, be my guest. Okay, 6 ball here on the end. JTN, how Dude Conking can host a stream regularly and stay relatively sane? I don't stay sane. That's the whole point. Bet at 35K. It's hard to stay sane if you are insane. So, and Neil's betting here. Longhorn football will be irrelevant for a long time, says Ethan. Ethan M. Maybe. I don't know. It's just like you get this 1 year of optimism where you could tell, okay, it's this guy, Steve Sarkisian, the offensive coordinator for Alabama. The only thing I will say about that it makes sense to do this now because you already have somebody amongst your competitors that's recruiting the same type of players that you want to bring into your program that supposedly gets Texas. I don't know if Tom Herman ever really got a fair shake in this. I know there was a lot of people that were detractors and not patient, and maybe there are always jaded voices within the program of guys who will say this or that, and you never really know if it's fair. This was a difficult season to evaluate a head coach on within a pandemic and just sit there and say, and I think it just got to the point where we think Tom Herman could be a very nice coach. We don't know if he can be a great one. And I think that argument is fair. But nothing in this, the politics of college football is ever going to be professional, it's never going to be fair. It's never going to be, things aren't always going to work out a linear process where it all makes sense. Speaking of things not making sense, we have 2 pocket pairs of 6s and a pair of 7s. But if we see a 6 here, we've got a lot of problems. Let's see here. Nobody betting, nobody betting. We could just get to showdown and see the mystery unveiled. 6 is flipped up, 7's flipped up, and it means it's going to show us 6s. All right. Ethan, he hasn't been a successful head coach anywhere he has been. Yeah, let me take back look into. All right, so Sark was a head coach at Washington. It's not an easy job up there. USC was also in a weird spot too. That, yeah, hey, the guy was dealing with alcoholism. So you think over the last 4 or 5 years that haven't been involved with the Falcons, along with Alabama, that it's not so much him, it's who that he brings with the staff this time around. So. All right, Spiller here with pocket 9s. We have got folds, and we've got Cole with the big blind. Raised to 40K, and actually Cole's going to lay down pre-flop. He's just says under the gun raise, a little too strong for me. This is kind of a weird spot, sandwich in between everybody. And just going to put the brakes on and just lay it down pre-flop. So, all right, so you have a good one, Carlo. Yeah, the easy answer for me, Ethan, is just wait and see what kind of staff it puts around. I mean, you always have that year where you've got the guys that are Herman's guys, and they feel a great deal of loyalty to the new coach, and sometimes some of these guys want to stay, and sometimes they are just like, no, this is my position coach, this is the people who recruited me, F you, I'm out of here. So that is still within the realm of possibilities. Jedi Master Ted, where is coaching easy? Well, easy is a relative term, meaning to wherever your demographic is, whatever part of the country you are, and what your expectations are. Matt Campbell's got an easy job, not because the winning part is easy, but when he does win, he's got tenure enough that nobody's going to ever question him. Whereas here, if you win a game, people are still on the back of your neck, still double guess or second guessing each decision you make. So the easiest job is the one where you probably don't have to face the most external pressures. Because inherently everything is the same. And especially if you're a blue blood program too, like it's just, you've got inherent advantages that you're not going to have over the Cincinnatis and Coastal Carolinas of the world. So as here within the tournament mix, Albert taking it down as still 6-handed. I don't think the big money donors are patient enough. Yeah, I think that's, and who knows if that is a personal case or not. I think when in the case of like Charlie Strong, they could kind of get a sense that there was going to only be a certain ceiling that the program was going to strive to. As great of a man as he was, to, of everybody I've talked to that said, they're not a better guy, but he's. All right, we have got Cole shoving here on the button, 10-3. Spilly's got king queen here in the small blind. He will not pre-raise all in. I'm surprised. Yeah, how about a little shout out to Texas basketball beating the ever living piss out of Kansas yesterday. For 4 years, for 5 years, I have had, or no, 4 years, I have had to listen to people that don't know shit about basketball in this town try to tell me that this guy can't coach. And when you try to get a reason for him, it's kind of like, I don't know. And that has happened, and I've wanted to flip out because I have been inside that building. I've seen what those people do and how they structure every program. And now that they finally have let these players develop, you've got an upper class that is ready to carry the mantle, and you've got the young guys ready to put into place. Like, you've got a system there that's maybe got some long-term stability with recruiting class, and now Texas is a top 5 team. They could have gotten sent shock out a year ago if they'd listened to all the chat pros of the Twitter universe. But now Texas is kicking out. Sometimes it pays just to be a little bit more patient. All right, Queen 3 deuce. Wheel draw here for Albert. Top pair for Frank. I did not know that story, Ethan M. That was not made aware of that, but just like Frank is not aware that Albert has made a wheel here. He's bet 16K right into the second nuts here. And, oh, wow, Albert goes for the raise. Frank calls. Quickly calls a 6 here on the end, as maybe this might slow down the action because Frank could interpret maybe Albert having a 5x to raise with any like combo, say like 4-5, queen 5. Here in a big blind versus small blind kind of spot. So oh, it was when he was at Louisville. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I just had a guy that he was my assistant coach that played for Charlie. And, you know, just back as far as like what you look for in a football coach, like that's, you know, any kind of personal stuff there. Like dudes are dudes, and it's kind of, and men in power are kind of, it's an unspoken thing about it. It's just weird stuff that happens that even if you don't support it, it's just going to be the randomness of life that occurs. So take that stuff out of the picture, the uncontrollables and all that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, it seemed like Anthony D. Sashak Smart could be an NBA head coach at some point if he wanted that life. Yeah, I've gotten that. I think he takes a lot of really good value into the, you know, development of young men portion that is just is admirable. Like, I think he's a really principled person and really just kind of understands just, it's my guy, man. All right, we are now at 10K, 20K, and still sitting at about 6-handed here. We have been off and running since 6:30. So we're about to cross the 3-hour mark here of our tournament final table. DeMont. SJUT basketball fans, remember that one year that Durant was with them and thinks it's not possible to be good since then. Yeah, there's a lot of, like, and now that the fact that, you know, Rick Barnes has had some success at Tennessee, you know, there's just sort of this kind of like comparison game that we play, and it's why I stopped listening to the national media or the local media here in Austin, and the sports talk, because it's just, whatever. So I appreciate you guys bearing along with me here. As look at this, Albert here with it, putting on the old check raise with a queen 6 off. Blind versus blind. Neil's betting a second pair. Albert going right over the top for the love of the game. Get some chippies right back there into a stack. So Ethan, a boss should never evaluate an employee by how he does his job, only if they are good people. Well, that's not necessarily what I meant. Like, we can do a lot of because what I mean is there are people that will take shots at coaches when they transfer out of a program because of their own reasons that they didn't get playing time or anything. So there's an easy way to vilify people when you're pissed at them or you feel like you were wronged or lied to or any of that kind of stuff. So it happens with all these coaches and, you have dissenting voices from people that have kind of an agenda. So you get this kind of mixed reality of like, hey, the people who love you, and the people who hate you. And you're trying to find the truth and the balance in between, whatever spectrum that is anyway. So let's see. Hey, V. Hi, V. Hi, Caitlin. The broad laughing in the chat. We already had somebody asking me to have you back. I got like the next few weeks booked for us 5-5, 5-10 folks. So you can join us with E. McKenzie tomorrow night, 5-10 No Limit, joining for commentary and our streaming No Limit Uncapped Cash Game. Make sure to click subscribe, hit the like. We're on a decent amount of likes. As right, Niels takes down. SJ, do you think Becky Hammond is going to replace Pop? I don't see Pop keeping it going as he is 71. I think Pop's still got at least a couple more years left. Whoever decides to take over. I mean, it could be a timing thing as to any of his other past assistants. Hammond, I think, would probably be as good of a fit to take over as anybody, but there's a lot of people that have been through that Popovich coaching tree that if that decision ever comes to replacing him, I mean, there's a lot of Pop disciples around the league that maybe that might be the job for them. Who knows? But Becky Hammond's a legit coach, and they like and respect her. She's been paying her dues and kicking ass for a long time. So Rick Martin's a good coach. Yeah, and he was, they went their separate ways after 16 years or so here at Texas. Some good, some bad. That's. Michael Schultz, Tim Duncan wanted nothing to do with the nonsense. He's no longer assistant coaching. I think he'd like just kind of being another guy in the facility and not an official assistant coach because that's a lot of responsibilities. I think when you come off a pro career that lasted as long as he did, that it was just not like. Some guys, they want to get into it, and some guys, they get a taste fit and just say, I want to spend time with my kids. All right, Queens here for meet. Couple of ladies. All right. No, he wasn't. I mean, like, Becky Hammond's earned her place. Like, she's been actually coaching, whereas, Tim was a player, kind of retired and still just kind of hanging around the facility, but was not like. He was not coaching the summer league team for summer after summer like Becky was. So, yeah, she has earned her spot. As you can tell, I'm staying perfectly sane and reasonable here in the early going. We have covered all sorts of ground tonight, haven't we? Fictitious person I'm talking to. Let's see. We got the Eagles going to the end zone, closer to it. I got the Eagles at 3.5 or plus 3.5. Excuse me. So that's I had a friend gave me some suggestions of games to bet on, and just a small amount of money left in my Bovada account. So I said, "All right, fuck it, let's do it." You know, whatever. That's then. Let's see. We got Neil's limping here in the hijack. Frank here with Queen 7. Check and check. Eugene Green to say Becky Hammond has earned her place in the Spurs organization over Duncan. Yeah, nah. Dude, I named my dog after Tim Duncan. This is not an indictment on Tim Duncan. But coaching is different than playing. Like, it's a totally different world that you're grinding tape for hours upon days to prep, and you're doing player development, and you're doing game planning, and you're doing all the really difficult stuff, and that's what Becky's doing that, and from bottom on up for a number of different years. It's not about worth to the organization. That's not. Duncan's an ambassador to culture. That's what he is. Okay, well, we continue here on this Rock'em Sock'em good time, fun time here of TCH Live Sunday. Oh, for Christ's sake. Let's see here. We've got Albert. Looks like he's raising up front. There he is. So okay, Albert's posting his big blind. I was like, is he? We've got a raise by Amit. Gonna go ahead and take it down pre-flop. So we continue here on TCH Live. Nick from UMass. Stephen A. Smith is butthurt that Steve Nash got the job with the Nets. Yeah, I would assume so. You know, the politics of head coaching hires are so unique, I think, to a degree that it's just, you know, if you're not an absolute slam dunk, there's a lot of holes to punch through that people can take shots at you. And that's banking on Nash's relationship with Durant with the Warriors and the fact that he was just a good guy that was able to bridge a lot of gaps between his teammates during his playing days. So we'll see if that works out or not. And then put good former past head coaches along with them. Yeah, Anthony bringing up a great point because they know the game and a select few of former players make great coaches. I mean, Nick Nurse did not play in the NBA. Brad Stevens did not play in the NBA. I mean, there are, like Doc Rivers, a great example of a guy who played and near the top of the echelon. Like Mike Budenholzer did not get any time with anybody. Mike Malone did not get any time in the NBA. Like, that's kind of a half-truth there as far as... The thing that's always true, though, hey, pocket aces are the best hand. That is always true and twice on Sunday. And Spilly here with less than 10 big blinds. Spoelstra, not a former NBA player. Lifetime grinder in the film room. Spoelstra, yeah, literally got a start in the video room for Pat Riley. And those guys, they work like 10 to 12 hours a day. And that was back when the technology was not quite as sharp to be able to put things together and just put it out on a tablet. Like, they literally had to go through a ton of stuff. Let's see who else. Pop didn't play in the NBA for sure. Christ, he was a Division III assist, like a head coach. Went to Kansas and found his way. Let's see who else is not. Nate Bjorkgren for the Pacers, not an NBA player. Steve Clifford, probably not an NBA player. Lloyd Pierce may have been. I'm not sure. Tom Thibodeau. Billy Donovan, I think actually may have had a stretch. James Borrego for the Hornets. Tyrone Lue did play. Monty Williams definitely played. Yeah, there's the more. Van Gundy, yeah, definitely did not play. Like, you don't have to be. And Spoelstra said it himself once he got to be around LeBron and Wade and those guys, that they're just, as long as you can demonstrate that you know how to help some of these guys and lead them, they'll buy into you. But you know, that's a different dynamic. Stan Van Gundy, but that's. Eugene Green, Christ, you know too many. That's why they call me Hoops Mike, baby. At Hoops Mike on Instagram, at Hoops Mike on Twitter. I'm out there speaking the truth with a good word of hoops. Ethan, I think I'm still the most underrated coming out of junior high B team football. Hell yeah, man. You've always been underappreciated. Okay, yeah, you can see it. You can see I'm staying mentally sane here. Jedi Master Ted, isn't that what you called yourself first? No, I got it from a nickname on a show that I was doing back in 2011. My friend Joel Fry was hosting a show, a Saturday night sports special in Des Moines, and we would do like 15 to 20 minute segments on the NBA back then. So then he just started calling me Hoops Mike, and I signed up for a Twitter account, and that was that. And it's just Ace asking what's a runoff. Is that like a racehorse? Yeah, it's kind of democratically it is. I always love it when the pop culture world and the poker world converge into a perfect spat of comedy. Greg H, these guys fold a lot. Yeah, I kind of feel like Ethan Youngblood, this is your best stream of the year. Hell yes. Cheers to that. Frank here in the small blind, now going to jam into Albert. The people's champion had enough. We're going here to a flip. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go. Oh, yeah, let's see. Oh, King there on the turn. Bad news for Albert. Pocket fives will lose the race. Albert still has chips and Frank in a double up. Nobody wants to go out of this tournament. We're going to be going until tomorrow, 11 a.m., back to opening time here at TCH. That is right, 11 a.m. That is the time that we open here at Texas Card House. You get some sausage, get yourself some grits from some fine place. Get yourself a nice, hungry, little fed breakfast to you. You show up right there at the door bright and early at 11 a.m. get yourself ready and energized for some Texas Card House cash game action. Yeah, I don't know where I went with that one, but we do open 11. You usually get a table going fairly early, so.
That's not 40. Is that 40?
Oh boy, here,
Okay. I don't.
man, Spilly's range is.
Now, but it was wrong again. So I'm losing my mind. Just you're at Albert. You called, right? Okay. All right. Let's see. We're gonna get all clubs now.
Well, we got a meet raising with Queen Jack. Niels has got Ace Jack, and blinds are 15K, or excuse me, 10 and 20K. These stacks are getting so shallow enough that I suspect we're going to start seeing a rush of all-ins.
Let's go. Go check. Hey, they checked it yet. Ace has it.
And a meet, not piece, not. And you understand it. He's not going to call there in that spot, knowing that he's probably up against a worse hand, but it's. Well, we got a chat question here by Bob. Greatest basketball to never play in the NBA. You guys are mentioning guys who played a little bit, or they flamed out, like literally just never played. Like the best guy, like there might have been some street legends that could have totally maybe have fit the bill, but I don't have a deep basketball history past the 90s, earlier than the 90s to know of the classic cases of the best that never was or anything. Like that was a great documentary of itself, the best that never was. The running back. It was a great 30 for 30. What was that guy's name? It was Marcus something. Marcus Dupree. Now, found life outside of football. Found a good punch the clock job, and AC Law the Fourth did play Ethan. I know because I played with him in 2K and I loved him. Nick from UMS says Kevin Bacon in the air up there. No, that was, what was the character in that? Hakeem, I think it might have been. Might have been that main. I remember because I did a presentation on that movie my freshman year at college for some stupid reason. So Hank Gathers, rest in. Oh yeah, Hank Gathers, of course. From is it Loyola Marymount that he? All right, Spilly's got Kings. Kings alert here. He is the under the gun. So we wait for the action. Hey, Batoon is dealing here. Good friend Matt here. I did something that revolved around the air up there. I cannot remember if it was somewhat jokey or trolling. I'm gonna have to go deep into my memory bank of my freshman college year, which is filled with bong residue and molten hops and bong residue. Wasn't that the quote from Tommy Boy? All right, Spilly gonna open here with Bach Kings. Is Cole here with the 4 high? Boy, this has been an exciting stream, has it not?
It's apparently that day.
Okay, it's the
No. You can request it.
Alex saying Randy Moss. Well, Feet does not interject her opinions very much, so I will, take it with a respectful glance. You're like, okay, that's your opinion. That's fine. Now, if he was to spend 4 hours every show repeating that over and over again, then my opinion might change. So I'd be like, okay, I know what that person thinks. They're not going to spend me every show convincing me and others of that. That's the distinction. Wow, announcer, why? So annoying. Okay, that's... I know you're phrasing that in a different way, but that sounded weird when I said it.
And he folded?
Great answer there, Gary K. Best answer of the chat thus far. Okay, we've got a shove by Cole with 10 high. Spilly's going to call. Cole looking for revenge.
No, it just said
Spilly could have been totally knocked out earlier, and he's got some luck here. Pairs up a 9 and a straight draw. And there you go. Cole gets the double up. Spilly is now the short stack and going to be the small blind. Moose Duty at Mike, my only job is to make you laugh. Thanks, Moose Duty. Just explain to me what the maritime law bit is, and maybe I'll feel less dumb, because I feel like I'm missing the joke here. Gary K. This said Chris Street. You guys probably don't remember this. I mean, I barely remember this. Chris Street was a basketball player from Indianola, Iowa. He played for the Iowa Hawkeyes. He died January 19th, 1993, during a year where, man, he was a hell of a player. One of the most legendary Iowa basketball players, and he died in an automobile accident it was essentially like ran into a snowplow. I'm trying to remember the specific story, but people around the state still talk about it and still honor it every year. It's one of the all-time legends, and fortunately passed away way too soon. I know a bummer of a story, but I appreciate the shot out there in the chat. Yeah, graduated in fall of '92 from Iowa. Roommate was a basketball manager. That was a terrible day. Yeah, I was at that. I was 8 years old when the Chris Street game, when they played the Michigan Fab Five. Like, I was maybe like 20 or 30 rows behind the basket or so. I can still remember the smell of the beer of the lady next to me who was drinking heavily. I can't remember much about the game, but for some reason that's still... Yeah, it was... Billy Hoyle, that guy could knock down the jump shot. That's... All right, Amit, jamming here with ace queen and standing. Jam and stand. That is the way. All right, Spilly's in with king jack. Amit's in with ace queen. He's got him covered. I feel like inevitably this is Spilly doubling up the way this night has gone. Spilly needs a king or a jack. He's going to get a king. Now Amit needs an ace. And What do you know? We got another double up. Nobody will ever get eliminated from this tournament. And we don't necessarily want them to. I'm not rooting for anybody or against anybody, but this is the table that refuses to end, I think, here at this point. Oh, Billy. All right. Gary, Jason Williams from the Bulls. Yeah, but Bobby Hurley was also kind of in the mix, but they sort of had played. Maritime laws and all Tosh point us because you can do whatever you want. No law of the land, international water power stuff, maritime law. Okay, good. I finally get the joke. I'm going to have to go back and look at that. All right, so as blinds now move to 15K and 30K. I don't know why we were talking this year about players that were cut down before they were ready too soon. It seems like a depressing chat topic to start 2021, but it was actually a really good question by Bob. All right, we got Cole raising, Spilly jamming, Albert with ace jack. His patience getting tested a lot here tonight. Everybody, I mean, I don't know if there's anybody that has had they've had a big stack and they've just kept it the whole time. It is like everybody's had some version of being the short stack out of these. Going for Matt Damon and the Martian. Eugene mentioned Drazen Petrovic. Drazen played for a bunch of years, so he definitely ended way too soon. But it's like he still played. Like we're talking about urban street legends of guys that never really got into the league. Either they got into trouble or personal tragedies. I'll allow anybody who passed away into discussion. He was. Hank Gathers was also mentioned. All right, Amit's all in. Oh, no, excuse me. It looks like Frank is all in with ace four. So what do we got? Frank's going to hit a diamond, going to hit diamonds here to survive. That's. Richard Dumas. That name sounds familiar, Sean. All right, here we go. Ace 9 versus Ace 4, 9s and queens. And Frank still has 25K. So Amit was all in for his tournament life. Frank had turned the 4, and then Amit reversed the 9. So now we see our payouts have been adjusted for the chicanery that we're going through currently. We've kind of flattened the payouts here a little bit, so players are getting a new deal. I just heard the word all in my headset, so that means Frank's in for his, what is presumably 40K based on the orange and the 3 pinks. Eugene Green, Isaiah Austin, Baylor about 4 years ago. That's a good answer. Isaiah, he had the heart condition that did not allow him to be. They did a ceremonial drafting of the guy because he was actually a good enough prospect to be in the first round, but teams were scared of the heart condition and like he could potentially be a threat to his life if he played. So still trying to get back to it. All right, Frank in with King 5 suited. Albert here now with a decision with King Queen. He has called the all in. Do we have later action? Okay, we've got. I mean, with Ace Deuce, Cole with King Queen. So Frank's definitely hitting clubs here, right? Or a 5. Like that's just. Oh, there is a straight and a flush draw. 8 gets there on the end. It means Ace Deuce, I think, is going to take it down. The Ace High going to take it down. We have an elimination. Frank has been knocked out of the final table. And, well, that is another twist and turn to this magnificent final table that starts off 2021. Oh, good point there, Alec. Torelli's hitting chips. He played in China a little bit some. Okay. Wow, no, we've got talking about Bobby Sir, not talking about Mac McClung. Tom Chambers was supposedly a great leaper too, as far as the lame white guys that could thunder Dan Marley. I don't want to get like racial or anything. I was just like, oh yeah. Players are fighting tooth and nail here for what is now a $2,000 first prize. Mac McClung in Texas. No, he's at Texas Tech. I haven't really looked at how the Red Raiders are doing, but got a pair and a flush draw here for Spilly. I do talk about poker sometimes, but I don't know what you're talking about here. Alec to really sit in chips. I agreed with you. Anyway, no, let's see. I want to make sure I don't forget anything because I always feel like there's a ton we could promote what's happening here at Texas Card House. Free rolls Wednesdays and Fridays. Albert here now with ace 10 off suit with a rip here to 139,000. All right, we got a meet here with ace 9 off suit. Albert all in for his tournament life. So his equity advantage should be like 9-1 here right now. It should be way more. He's all in for his tournament life. Every player at this point. And there you go. That seals it. I mean, he had some backdoor outs, but 10's full of aces. Way good for the People's Champion, Big Daddy Albert. And that is going to put him in a really healthy chip position. So I think he and Amit are just going to essentially flip stacks at this point. So. All right, Spilly here with the 10-8 suited. He's going to call on the button. I would, if you got the dude talking, you just got to shove. It's really my tip of the week. We don't have AA Ron here to do just the tip. Just the tip with Dr. AA Ron. Neil's here all in with ace-5. Spilly would be forced to call about a third of his stack if he wanted to take out Neil's. Paige Buchers out of Minnetonka that plays Yukon Women's Hoops. I haven't. I did not hear of her. I haven't been paying as much up attention. You go to Yukon. You gotta be really damn good. I mean, it's like Neil's shoves. He's just gonna take it right there. So. Okay. Yeah, have any of you guys seen that Chet Holmgren too? This guy. Yeah, that is. I don't know what it is up in the waters of Lake Minnetonka or something, but there's been a lot of really good prep talent coming out of the Twin Cities area. Fresh in the waters of Lake Minnetonka. All right, we got Spilly, and the king, and the cutoff of King Queen. Jam it. Again, this was done 15 minutes ago, so I'm only speaking to the past. Damn it all. Jack pairs here for Niels. We have a straight draw for me. Uh-huh. King. All right, Niels calls, bluff catching. Spilly's got a lot of outs though, but he's got overcards and a straight draw to a 10. Boom, there's one of them. Niels on wheels. Here has been rivered. As we continue here on the Fun Zone, the nonstop Rock'em Sock'em Poker Hour. I'm trying to suggest that's what we should name it, the Rock'em Sock'em Poker couple of hours. Let's keep getting shouted down. Keep getting oppressed because of my beliefs. Man. No, I'm just messing with you guys, but Gary K, Jalen Suggs. Hell yes, I'm all in on Jalen Suggs. Amit's all in here with Queen Jack. Cole has got ace high. Cole down here with a decision. It's a fair amount of his chips just to call off here with ace 6 while he's looking around at a table where everybody's been jamming over the top of each other. And, well, going to go ahead and show it to him. He probably realized here that the short stack's been winning like every one of these kind of like semi-flips, so. Nick from Yuma, that's a snap call. Well, I think the only difference is that he's looking at other short stacks that may, I don't know. That's, I guess if you flatten out the pay scale, that I don't know if there's really any other pay jumps that are just sort of like worth folding that spot, but I feel bad for my dog. He's probably wondering where the hell I am. It's like the human is not usually gone this long. Not on Sunday. Just checking to make sure he's not destroyed anything. It seems like nothing more destroyed than usual. There we go. Ace-6 versus Ace-Queen. Spilly with a chance to maybe knock out a player. He's got more chips than a meat. Needs a 6 and 6 only a straight draw, and well, the meat has been knocked out. Spilly was at one point all in with Ace Queen against aces of coal, went runner clubs to stay alive in this tournament, and he has been riding the roller coaster, riding the waves. Jedi Master Ted, always the cynic and questioning what is the fuck is a semi-flip. I just kind of mean it in the terms of like when it's 60-40, 55-45. You know, it's just like one of those things that's like, yeah, it's not a pure 50-50 coin flip, but it's just kind of within that realm. So all right. Nick from Yuma, I'm a Mog. Half man, half dog. I'm my own best friend. Greatest movie of all time. So you see there, 800, 1800, 2000. So now I think with four-handed, that probably makes more sense, I think, as far as Cole's fold relation to Ace-6 Jack, because I don't know. I guess if you get to this point, you feel like you can find yourself a better situation to get yourself, you know, higher up on the pay scale. All right, Albert with Ace King. Ace King Albert. Wow, 4 dislikes. Bummer. Let's see, we have 4 domestic terrorists in our breaches here.
Sorry.
Siri was sorry. Okay. All right. All right. Neil's here rocking the 6-9 suited. Nice. And going to come out for a very nice flop here. 9-9 deuce. And the people cannot believe it. Albert is going to either have to go running aces or running kings. Neil's pretty much got a lock on this one to double up. Nothing is, this is like usually if a tournament's gone this long, Albert has either blasted his way out of it or has accumulated all the chips, or there are so many different tournament versions of Albert that I see here that it's, yes, we've got 120 likes here thus far. If you've been enjoying the program, my nonstop ramblings, you know, the one thing you can do is leave a comment on our archive that is positive, or you can just go ahead and hit the like, man. That's all you got to do. It's pretty simple, repeatable. So easy a caveman could probably do it. You know, it is what it is. The wise words of our nation's greatest philosopher in the times of the greatest struggle. It is what it is. The squeaky Neil gets the great assist, Nick from Yuma. I like it. I like it. Neil's a big fan of Brad Beal's game, so he's going to shove all in with the ace-9. Just reminds me of Community, where they're like, oh, yeah, no, it's Fat Neil. And it's like, Neil's just fine. It's like, okay, Fat Neil. And I'm like, man, that's really cruel to Neil. He seemed like a nice guy. Jedi Master Ted, that was a Madden moment, Mike. He's either going to win or lose this one, folks. Which has now been rebranded the Booger McFarlane. And I want to rip on Booger McFarlane, but it is, color commentary of the National Football League scene is not easy to do either. And then he's got this weird sideline role. Like, I can understand why the guy took kind of the route that he did. It's just a weird way to have to do a game. What if it really is what it was? Great question. Neil's shoving all in here with ace jacks. Billy's got king 9 suited. Sorry. Mustuti's rendition of the never-ending story as the never-ending tourney. That was genuinely impressive. Turn around, look at what you see in the dealer's face, the mirror of your dreams. Make believe I'm everywhere, given in the light, written on the deck is the answer to a never-ending tourney. Well done, Nick from you or Moose Studio. Cole's jamming, all in, queen 9 offsuit. Should descend closer into madness. I can't do anything as good as Frank Caliendo does all of his impressions. All right, Neil's got pocket schlongs, the jacks. Don't get mad at me. Kevin Rand thought of it. Jays, juggalos, jumping jack, flashes. Why aren't people talking? Why does Braden Smith keep talking about noses? Is he anti-Semitic or something? All right, Cole's all in with queen 9 suited under the gun, 4-handed. Neil's. All right. And here we go. Oh, hockey assist, says Nick from Yuma. Okay, that's agreed. 10s and jacks. The always ferocious Cole has busted here in 4th place, so we are down here to the final 3. All right. All right. Cole, we will update, push him out of the way. Did I say something? Like, oh, boy. Yeah. No worries. No, I'm just catching back in. All right. New hand now, down to 3-handed. You guys got to be loving this. All right. Again, what are we, 15, 30 with a 30K big blind. V, no deals. It's not up. I mean, they've already breached shift. I mean, it's like since we've adjusted the payouts, I think they are content to continue going here the whole way. Oh, we got another deal here. Third place gets 1,000.
Coming from second.
Coming from second, so second was 1,100.
No, second was 1,800.
Oh, second was 1,800.
Now it's 2K, 1,600, and 1,000.
Okay. Oh, okay. I was like 1,000's coming from. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. And then I realized I'm a moron. Okay, now I understand what you mean. And all right, what do we got here? 6-5, king, queen. We got a shove by Spilly. Cram chomps. Ben lamb chomps. Is that what we're talking about? Yes. Thanks, Nick. This is Mike. I can see you commentating the red zone. That would be a really, truly interesting. The guy that's been hosting it's been hosting it for like every year since. So, dude talking just needs a vodka C4. Yeah, I'm towards the end of this. Dude, if I take another energy drink, I'm not sleeping until 7 a.m. It's just not happening.
All you're going to do is pick up players who think that they are action players. Yeah, exactly.
All right, we got a raise up to a hundo. We've got Albert shoving in with while he's got this 65K left here with a 9 triz. Let's go, Albert. Let's get a 9. Shipping home for the 9 triz one time. No disrespect to Neil's on Wheels, but it is the people's champion we're talking about. 9! 9 gets there. The flush draw gets there, though. God, I'm losing it here this year already. But good game there to the people's champion, Big Daddy Alberto, American Badass, friend of the program. Good game there, sir. Neil's on Wheels is now heads up. And unfortunately, yeah, like the clubs get there. Unbelievable. The worst hand won yet again. Ace-3 versus 9-3, and Ace-3 gets there. Absolutely ridiculous. There's no justice in this game whatsoever. Oh, Christ. Folks, we are going to need a stop here on 4th and inches right now. Here for the Washington football team. We need a stop here for the Eagles. Come on, get a stop here. You can. Oh, just jumped off sides. You suck. That's unfortunate. All right, here we go. That looks probably never leave the ball game. So it is the Washington football team that is going to the playoffs. Alex Smith, player of the year, or comeback player of the year. Asa Hughes, Cowboys lost. Nobody cares. Hey, I had a little bit of money on Bovada I had left. I tried to parlay based and just trying to salvage my day of like $10 bets on the Eagles.
I think that there are a number of factors.
My Vikings got knocked out last week. It was inevitable the last couple of weeks, so it's just sort of like, I didn't really give a shit about the Cowboys. It is more fun to laugh at y'all than it is to. All right, 9-8 versus Queen 8. Neil's on Wheels up against Spilly. Yeah, we'll say that's. Who's going to be in the Super Bowl? Probably not very many fans. Laugh with assist. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Spilly bets it, takes it down. Oh, Ethan, if you had UNC plus 9.5 yesterday, that's a bad beat. That was quite a twist and turn to that game. Here we go. Heads up. Continues on. George, bench Wentz, then pull Hurts after doing really bad play calling. How does the Eagles coach keep his job? Well, he won a Super Bowl, and that just kind of gives you immunity for like several years. Your assistants get poached. Your construction's not quite the same. But if you won a Super Bowl, look at Mike McCarthy. He won a Super Bowl in 2011, and he got to keep his job for probably a few years longer than he probably should have. Gary K. Van Pelt's bad beats is some of the best. I'm glad that the national media was decided to not treat sports gambling like it's some crazy thing. There's like, yeah, no, this is why you're watching. So are we to have a deal in place here? Are we doing a? Oh, okay. All right. They're gonna do an even chop, and they're just kind of doing like a end of the stream racehorse for our entertainment, I think. And yep, 10 high is taking down 6 high for the championship. Neil's on wheels with 10 high for the win. No, they decided just to run it out here, so we have reached the merciful conclusion of our Sunday live stream. Thank you to the nation for tuning on in at TCH Live. Thank you to Tyler. Good job training here today. Super producer Carolyn. I am the dude talking, Mike Gemlitz, and so long, everybody. We will see you tomorrow night, 5:10 No Limit with Eve McKenzie joining for commentary. Good night, everyall.